What's up, boys? So listen, this is the next episode of Allcraft, guys. We are joined today with, of course, myself, my co-host Rich Campbell, and today our guest Stoopzz. Now, Stoopzz has been playing Lost Ark now. How long have you been playing?
Probably gonna be about going on 9 months now. Yeah.
Oh my God, long enough to have a baby. And so, what do you think about the game? Like, I've seen your videos. I remember we've watched your WoW videos for years, and now we're watching your Lost Ark videos, and we're playing the game again. And what made you want to move over to Lost Ark? Like, what started it?
Honestly, it was like right around the time I remember I was doing a Torghast run with Savix, my friend Savix, in a call. And I was like groaning in pain because I just fucking hated doing Torghast. I hated fucking doing it every day. And then we were just talking about like, I don't want to play this fucking game anymore. This game is like, because I'm just burnt out. You know, I played it for a while.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking in my head, I want to play other games. So like I pre-ordered New World because the beta was coming up.
Yeah.
And then I also downloaded Lost Ark for this like Russian client. And I ended up just like playing Lost Ark, never touching the New World beta. And I was supposed to do this thing when I stopped playing WoW on my YouTube channel. I would try out other MMOs. I was supposed to try out like Guild Wars, Final Fantasy. I played a little bit of FF. Honestly, I couldn't.
Careful! Don't say anything bad about it. They're gonna get upset.
Okay. Look, dude.
Put yourself in a dangerous place, brother.
I don't want to pay $50.
Say that the story was incredible.
I don't want to pay $50 to read a fucking book, dude. Okay, I sat there, dude. It was too much for like I couldn't do it, man. I get it. It's fucking good. Dude, I'm not trying to pay to read a book.
I actually look. I'm a huge Final Fantasy like shrimp, but the thing that I actually love hearing though is somebody actually like looking at the game and just realizing it's a different game. As long as people can appreciate that,
it's not a bad game.
And that is something that I feel like a lot of people need to understand with Lost Ark as well, right? It's a very different game than what 100%. You probably expect. Yeah.
So I couldn't get into it, and then I just started playing Lost Ark on the Russian server. And yeah, like the first week, which is probably what you guys are experiencing a little bit, I fucking hated the game. I did not like, I thought it was weird. I thought like the attendance rewards were really mobile-like. I thought like, there was a bunch of shit in the game that I actually didn't really fucking like about the game. But then I got over that first week, and then I did my first Hondel dungeon, which is, you're not there yet, Asmon.
Yeah,
you're close.
I'm not close to anything at this point.
No, you are close.
You're getting close to the good stuff. You're getting.
You got to get to Rohandel. And then you'll do the dungeon. And then
after you do your first abyss dungeon, your whole life will be sacrificed to this
different,
game.
Right? It's different after that. Okay. You do your first end game dungeon, you're like, oh, this is pretty legit.
You're like, oh my God, I sucked at this game the whole time. The second it stops babying you and you actually have to start learning different mechanics, you're like, oh my God, I haven't done anything yet.
Yeah. So that's how I got onto it. And then I've been playing it. I didn't think the game would be as big as it is today at all. I actually got clipped in the like Amazon Discord. I think I can say this, but I got clipped in the Amazon Discord saying that I don't think the game will be that popular. Like it's, people are like, oh, it's gonna hit 1 million. Like there's no way, guys. There's no shot it hits 1 million concurrent players. And then they clipped me, and they posted it in there.
Oh yeah. Yep. Of course.
I feel like, dude, there's this really unfair thing that happens with you where people take these clips of things that you say and post them. Like there was this one time that
here we go.
This clip of you saying
it was 5 years ago, man.
Nuts across my balls or your nuts across my chin. And that was completely out of context, man.
I remember watching that video. It was a great video.
It wasn't out of context. I did say I wanted to put my dong on your forehead or something like that.
I think it was my chin. But honestly, at first I thought it was just funny, and now I honestly it was the best start to a very, very long friendship. I mean, honestly, we've gone from nuts on my chin to the Allcraft Summit, where we talked a lot about the changes that we wanted to see in PvP, which we definitely never ended up seeing even remotely, to now being all the way here with a brand new experience and a lot to talk about. Obviously, all three of us have a very different take on the game. Stoopzz with the most experience. Asmon still kind of learning a lot of the different things about the game, seeing where it's different from other games.
Floundering around in tier 1 content.
Yeah, and really starting to get into the thick of it, right? I think one of the things that's a little bit scary is so many players are rushing through a lot of the content, and this is a big question I'm going to have for Stoopzz. What happens when you start to get to the end of Tier 3? Are people going to feel this content drought and maybe fall out of some of the game loops? I feel like today is really where we start to talk about the future of the game. I myself, too, I've done a lot of research, honestly, because people are talking about what the money aspects of the game are, and I took it upon myself to try to help the community and really just research what was possible, what wasn't possible, and I pushed the limit. I really did push the limit, not only on my mother's credit card, but for science to see what you can do in this game. So I have a lot to talk about, and I think that is not necessarily the best place to start. I think that we should get there, though.
Thank you for your sacrifice, by the way.
Look, I will do anything. I will do anything for the sake of this game, because I think that this game.
How much?
How much would I do? Maybe around
dollar amount.
Total, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I do have 30,000 gold right now, and I don't know. I don't know exactly where that came from.
You sell You bought 30,000 gold, or you sold your founder's shit and got 30,000 gold?
Dude. You
sold it,
my man. I sold. I sold the blue crystals, not the royal ones. Look, here's the deal. I really do think that this game, one of the reasons that this game is good and has a chance to survive the long haul, which was a question that we had on the first episode of Allcraft, right? That we did for this show. We're like, is this a game that's just going to be really fun for a little bit, or is this going to be a game that fits into everybody's rotation as a game that they're going to play for a while? And I think that it's very much in a different position than other games. Stoopzz and I, we were talking about it before the show actually started. There is a huge Gamba aspect in the gear system, regardless of if there's any cash injection from the player. Like, you're going to be getting these resources, you're going to be gambling a lot. And for me, a sick dopamine addict, I love it. Like the feeling of a success when you're going from 14 to 15 in tier 1. I'm sitting there looking like train wrecks with my forehead up against the camera, slamming on the desk.
Bonus.
That was literally me. I love that. Everybody knows I'm not necessarily the most sane human being in the world, but I love that. I love the grinds. I love the feeling of just getting these number upgrades over time. I like the fact that there are these Stitch adventure aspects with islands mixed into that overall progression as well. And I think that everything besides the Guardian raids are a pretty good daily experience, and I like how much you can alt. But Stoopzz, you know more about this game than anyone. Do you think that all of those things that are fun now, stay fun over time?
Well, what you guys are experiencing is a really small part of the game, right? Like, these islands were when the game was really bad, right? And that's when the game wasn't. Yeah, these islands are what a lot of people were scared would kill the game for a lot of people, because that's why we didn't want to be stuck in tier 1 or tier 2. And I know there was a lot of fear of like, oh, they're rushing tier 3, but the game wasn't popular during tier 1 and tier 2, right? The end game at that time is actually what you guys are experiencing today. And when the game became popular was the Legion raids. That's when the game actually grew.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, to be honest, you guys don't notice it. It's fun for you, and I get to watch you guys have fun doing this shit. But like, I mean, you're fucking sailing around on a little boat, like collecting mats. That's what the gameplay
kind of suck.
I'll have you know, I have almost 400 Moko seeds.
You're Mokoko collecting that. You know, there's a vendor in the game for that.
He does weird shit in games, bro. Like, I don't know. Here's what happens with Asmon, Stoopzz. You probably haven't seen this as much as I do. He ends stream and he's like, oh, dude, I'm going to lie down. I'm going to eat. That's always the first thing he says. Then after that, he perks up a little bit. He wants to play a game. He doesn't want to cheat on his stream, so he can't do any of the real content. So he picks a random small thing that's not supposed to be the focus of the game, which he then does all night long. He's doing that all night long, and then at some point he like has this mental break where he's like, "Wow, dude!" And then he decides that he's just gonna 100% this tiny thing that's not supposed to take 200 hours.
That nobody cares about.
That's the Cocoa Seeds.
Here's the thing, though, and this is why it's a mistake to rush. Okay, this is why it's an actual mistake to rush in Lost Ark. You're going to have to go back and do those things. If you press Alt L, that's your collectibles tab. And in Lost Ark, there is an Island Heart vendor, a giant heart vendor, and other vendors that give you power resources like skill points that you're going to have to get. And what the people don't realize that they're rushing to is you're rushing to tier 3. This doesn't make sense to anybody. You're rushing to tier 3 to go do an abyss dungeon that will pay you 1,500 gold.
Yeah.
Right? Which, if we're talking about like how much that really is, you can sell a couple items in tier 1 and make 1,500 gold. It's nothing, right? But the things that Asmon is doing now are things that people will do later, and you're going to have to go back and do anyway. So that's why people were worried about this early tier content, because for some people, yeah, fuck yeah, you're having fun, you're going around, you're collecting islands. I don't like that shit. Like, that's not my, I like to do like fun shit, like epic shit, like raids or dungeons or whatever. So that's where the game gets fun and more and popular, which is why we're trying to get there, why they released with it, right? Trying to get us there as quickly as possible. So is it going to be boring for people, to your question? Like, this isn't the end game. This is, you're doing your chore tasks. You're doing your theme park MMO tasks of going around guarding raid, chaos dungeon dailies, and collecting shit.
Yeah, you're doing your dailies.
So funny? Yeah. I genuinely think, and Asmon, you really haven't gotten here yet. And I know that when you do, you're going to have like an internal mental chuckle. But I do feel like the funny thing with this game is a lot of people, like, it's almost like it's a new game in the sense, obviously it was out in other regions, but it's almost like it's a new game where there was no peek into what was going to happen in the end game. And everybody's acting like they know what they're talking about, and most people really don't. And it's so funny because people are playing the game in certain ways where they're lying to themselves. Like, even with the way that you can inject cash into the game, like, I do have a pretty good sense of it. And like how that actually, and everybody's sitting here saying shit, and I'm like, you are the dumbest lemmings that have ever fucking existed in a game community. Like, I've never seen people be so fucking stupid about a game in my entire fucking life. And I've been making content with Asmon for fucking 5 years.
Says a lot.
The dumbest of the dumb in my life. And this is a new peak, and it is a fantastic peak. It is wild. Stoopzz, how have you felt about people like really acting like they knew what they were going to talk about?
It kind of reminds me a little bit of like, okay, it does remind me a lot, actually, because the amount of people that are fucking playing this game that know what's going on is like 1%. I'm not even, and this isn't like to gatekeep. It reminds me of, you remember when Classic WoW was coming out?
Oh,
and
God.
then like the private server Andes.
Oh, God.
Like,
yeah,
dude, it's like that though. We're like, everyone tells you like, oh, you need to be doing this, or you should be, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
If your tank doesn't have at least 350 fire resistance, you can forget about doing Ragnaros. This isn't like your pussy ass BFA.
It is.
Yeah.
I
know.
But I will say, I don't know if we're gonna get into it at some point.
Yeah.
I saw, and I'm not, the name is irrelevant, but I saw this spending guide, right?
Yes.
That type of shit, I think, is bad, because you're giving advice to people on how to spend their money when you don't know what you should be even spending your money on and what. I mean, I think that's fucked up, right? Because it's like giving financial advice to somebody when you know what the fuck you're talking about.
So what do you think people should spend their money on?
Can I say something really quick as money?
Okay.
I'm going to say something. As one of the biggest whales that there has ever been in a video game, who literally did spend his company's money on tier 1.
What?
Spending money on tier 1 is probably pretty stupid. Like, it really, like, it's like spending money to get into a Mythic 2 dungeon, to slightly speed up getting into a Mythic 2 dungeon. Spending money on tier 1 makes no sense. It's for stupid people like me and NMP who are spending our company's money to do it. Like,
it's not that it's stupid. You fucked up and you bought gold. That was the dumbest thing you could have bought. Out of everything you could have bought in the game. No,
it's my money. Don't tell me how to spend it. No, it is stupid. It was even stupider a little while ago. Because I bought it, maybe Stoopzz, I probably bought it 3 or 4 days ago. It was like 78 gold per. You know what I'm talking about? The conversion screws my head, but which we will talk about, because I do think that's important.
You bought WoW tokens when they were 20,000 gold, and now they've gone up to.
Yeah. But for me, I actually did have fun doing it, and you know, Asmon's been working really hard, so the company coffers are looking good. So for me, it was fine, right? And it was a very entertaining night, and I enjoyed it. But
that's all that matters.
Yeah, like the thing is with You know what? Let's just get it out of the way. Let me preface this part of the conversation with, I think that a lot of the time, guys, that a new game comes out, you're going to have a lot of idiots spewing whatever they can in the most inflammatory way to try to get views, right? That is straight up what happens. Asmon actually on his stream said something that I thought was very important to the overall conversation, where he basically was like, you know, coming out with a game review right now before you beat the game, it's
Bro,
kind of
I remember, did you guys see all those reviews for New World? And it was some review. It's like, hey, this is what you can expect. This is the way the game plays. And you see the screenshots, and they're in, you know, the first light, which is with the first zone. They're level 16. And I mean, to be fair, with New World, they've already experienced the whole game. But like, still, it's like you didn't even play it.
Yeah, it's the same game all the way through anyway, right? You're just fucking cutting down to shit, collecting shit.
Yeah. With the New World, actually, it is fair to review the game at level 15. It's the same game the whole time. But like, yeah, it's ironic, right? Because like with Lost Ark, the problem with New World was that there was like just no content at max level. But like with Lost Ark, there's just levels and levels and levels and levels and levels of it. But yeah, there's definitely been a ton of misinformation about the game. Like I've heard so much stuff.
It's also fair though, right? Because it's like, dude, it's the game's fault, right? That it's coming out later, right? So it's just new players reviewing a game. But because there's people that have played the game previously, it's like, oh, well, you're wrong about this. That's not true. And that's not the player's fault or the reviewer's fault, to be honest. It's the circumstance of the game. So I don't really like to hate on the people that are making the reviews and things like that. I do think the spending ones are fucking dumb. But just respectfully, it's just like, you know, don't, whatever. But the whole point is, I just think that it's a weird circumstance where it's a game that's coming out later and it's already been out elsewhere, right?
Yeah. So you're gonna have people that have like different perspectives on it because, for what I understand, like the way that it's monetized in Korea is slightly different than the way it's monetized here in America. So, like, not only is there like translation issues, but there's also certain things that are just not the same.
No, I was kidding. But the thing is I don't hate any individual content creator for doing it because I'll do it too, right? The thing is any content creator is a moron if they don't do inflammatory takes every now and then and leech a little bit. And
you have to.
Look, hey, my name's Rich. I'm a leech. I don't give a shit. But the thing is when you are watching content, understand why the content creators are doing it, right? Like their goal a lot of the time, don't trust content creators every single time, right? When they're just know what you're getting into, right? At the beginning of a game, you're going to get a lot of misinformation and you're going to get reviews because people are trying to be the first ones there, right? It's as simple as that. They're not always going to know what they're talking about. And I think when people have gotten into, and the reason that I brought it up isn't just for the guides, it's not just for stuff like that. What it really is when you start to hear people having takes on the pay to win conversation, it's obviously the most emotional aspect of the game. Anytime that you're going to have money involved,
it's what people are most opinionated about, for sure.
Exactly. So, and it's going to come from multiple areas. Everybody has an opinion about their money, as you should. It's like a core thing that you use to stay alive in life. It makes sense because as somebody who's getting into a game, if the game randomly gets you to a certain point, you invest a lot of your time and then it says, to proceed, give $10. That's something that you should know. And I think with that, some content creators jumped on it, as you know, you would expect them to, and gave a lot of information. And it's made one of the main talking points about this game, whether it's pay to win or not. I personally think that it's a really reductive thing to say if a game's pay to win, because it doesn't tell you where the paying actually is. Stoopzz understands this economy better than me and Asmon do. Asmon, at the early parts, I'm kind of like, I'm in mid tier 2. I'm at like that 1K range. I'm at like that first big tier 2 wall, which I will break through tonight, hopefully with money. And Stoopzz, you understand how this economy is going to roll out. How do you view money in this game? How does it actually work? What can you do with money? How does it affect the game?
Yeah. So the first thing is the video that you watched today, like the same video, the Blue Crystal, what to buy, that shop.
Yeah.
Blue Crystal is the median currency in Lost Ark. It's there in Mary's shop. Because I see people going, like, when people buy shit off Mary's shop, there's like the baboons in the chat spamming like whale, Pepega swipe, whale, Pepega swipe. That's not whaling. That Mary Shop is to give the free-to-play player, the person who spends no money, a deal. It's there to regulate the price of mats during times just like these where mats on the market are way overpriced. Right?
So what you're saying is they change it dynamically based off of
what
how
crystals are worth. So I know your question is, so right now, for example, no offense, Rich, just, you did science research. Buying gold right now is the dumbest thing that you can do because it's fun. Hey, I'm not saying, look, dude, like, I'm not saying you're.
I'm kidding.
It's okay.
Stoopzz, yeah, I'm literally, I just got back to New York for a couple days right now. You have to realize my sarcasm is at peak right now. I know that it was a bad, like, I told everybody, this is not a good move. Only an idiot like NMP would do this right now. Because gambling in the game is fun. And honestly, Asmon, this is my advice for you. When after you get all of your tier 1 gear to level 6, save up all of your mats for one big Gamba session because it will be like the most legendary stream ever.
Fun.
It's
fun.
Really
so much fun.
Dude, all of my stuff is like level, it's like all like level 10 and like 9 now.
Okay. Yeah. But before I lose train of thought,
go ahead.
The blue crystals, right? Blue crystals hold the most value right now because that's what you can use to purchase from Mary's shop. Okay, Mary's shop gives you a deal, meaning that it'll be cheaper with what's on the market, or saying, hey, it's better to buy from other players. Okay, nobody wails to buy from Mary's shop because the amount of mats you get are so little, and you can test it yourself. What every player should be doing is converting their gold into blue crystal. Now, as I'm saying this, the price of it's probably going to skyrocket. You should not be giving up your blue crystal. It's a dumb move because gold has no value right now. The pay to win in Lost Ark is no different than what it is in World of Warcraft. It's buying WoW tokens. Late game, gold will have value.
Resources.
Are you sure?
Right. Late game, gold will have value. However, why his is a mistake is his, unlike the blue crystal, won't follow with inflation. Right? It's not going to scale over time like blue crystals will. For example, right now, blue crystals, depending where you're at, 200G to 400G per 100 blue crystals.
All right.
If you're following me here. Okay? In Russia, Korea, when I'm playing in Korea, 1,700 gold for 100 blue crystals. So if you're holding blue crystals, like all of my friends, we're not buying gold. We're converting all of our gold into blue crystals. So my friend has 25,000 blue crystals.
Have you ever played PoE before?
No, I want to try it some point.
Okay, PoE has a similar mechanic. I think it's like Chaos Orbs versus Exalted Orbs throughout the league. Yeah, so I understand that. So it's a depreciating asset.
Yes, blue crystals is not, gold is, right? Over time, it loses value. Blue crystals won't.
Okay.
Allow me to propose a different financial model.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. Fuck it, dude. I've done it too.
But all resources can be converted into other resources. Resources must work for you over time to create an intrinsic value to allow you to get other resources. Approaching this economy in this way, I find to be reductive and pedantic. When you look at taking your real life currency and converting it into gold, yes, the gold market will not see inflation, but if you are able to take your character, if you're able to take your character into a further tier and farm more efficiently and get more resources, you can inflate the amount of resources that you get. It could be a smart investment potentially, depending on your current state. It's like buying real estate in the real world, right? Right, Stoopzz? Right?
Yes, it stonks. It stonks. You're investing.
Is that the thing that you posted, Stoopzz?
What was that?
I'm assuming what Rich was reading out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what he said, but it stonks. That's just the way to fucking,
Okay,
but, to answer your question though, the pay to win in Lost Ark is no different than buying a WoW token. That's the pay to win, right? People can buy gold, and late game in gold can do a lot for you. I know there's another video. What's that now?
It's a pretty big pay to win though. Like WoW token's pretty big pay to win.
Pay to win, right? I agree.
Oh yeah.
I agree that buying gold in any game is pay to win, right? But I think so. I'll give you a little example here, right? So there was a video that came out that you saw, and I got linked it. Every time you watch a video, I get linked it. And it's fantastic. No, it's it's reactception. I have to watch you watch that, watch this, and sometimes me watching you watching me. But so somebody linked me the video, and it was the one about the guy like skipping in one day with
the Russian guy.
Right. So the gear he was referencing is BOEs, that's Argos gear. Okay. In our version of the game, you can't even go to plus 25, meaning you can't even do what he did, right? Our gear is capped at plus 20. That doesn't matter. You don't have to know what that means. But what I will say is nobody does that, right? The way that it works in this game, it's very similar to WoW. And I'll wrap this up here with this, but it's very similar to WoW, and people buy, the pay to win is people buy carries. However, not all content is carryable. So you get a gear and you get a bus. And it's no different than WoW. So the guy in the video said in one day you can get to 1590. Well, I think it's really fucking funny, and I find it hilarious, is there was a guy in my chat today, he had an Anduin profile picture on his Twitch profile and an Anduin banner, and he was saying pay to win and spamming copium in my chat.
Yeah.
I could install World of Warcraft today, buy a bunch of WoW tokens, hit up Echo or Limit or any other guild and say, hey, can you follow me all of Mythic Sylvanas gear in one day? And I can be max gear level in a day.
That is true.
It's not any different.
That is 100% true.
It's so funny because every time that you see someone spamming like really annoying stuff in chat right now, I had the same thing happen. I clicked on their name and they had an Alliance PFP and they had like a World of Warcraft. Every single time you do it, that is who they are, and you know that they're just like sweaty, wearing like a Horde t-shirt with like holes in it. They got cheese dust like all over them.
Oh, come on.
This game is the worst thing I've ever seen. And they're like, it's so like, I don't understand having so much loyalty to a game that you can't respect somebody else enjoying a different game. You literally enjoy a game so much. Why can't somebody else enjoy a different game?
To me, like, I've had some of those people too, and they're like, they'll comment and they'll be like, man, dude, well, we really want you to go back to WoW. Like, we really want this. And like, I'm gonna be honest, that always triggers the fuck out of me. It's like, who the fuck is we? I look at your profile, you have 4 messages in chat, and you've been banned twice.
Dude,
like, who is this guy?
Not even following. I'm a long-time fan here. I've been following you since MoP. I'm like, bro, I didn't even play MoP. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, people will do shit like that. And
like, his only comments is like a political take. It's like this is his opinion on like American politics.
Commented 2 years ago, you fell off. It's like, wait, what? Who are you, man? Like, you're not my buddy.
Exactly. No, I understand.
But
you definitely have a lot of people like that. I think there's a lot of people out there who, like, I don't know, Stoopzz, if you've gotten any of these people too, who are like upset that you're playing another game and like they think that you've betrayed World of Warcraft.
No, I've been called Illidan. I'm not kidding. And I thought it was a meme, but the guy was for real. He called me Illidan, like the betrayer. I'm not kidding.
Illidan's cool. Like,
I know, but it was still like the most cringy thing in the universe. It was like, what the fuck, you know? Like, I even hate using that word.
They called me Rich Cringebell. How the fuck do you get a name like Illidan?
Yeah, Illidan sounds way cooler, man. Like, I'm sorry.
He's serious though. He's like, are you coming back for the solo queue shit, dude? And I'm like, bro, like, it's a lot, you know. There's a lot of people that get really, but that's what I think ruins games, dude. That's what ruins the fun. It's the same thing with FF2. Like, I'm not just shitting on WoW, dude. I had this guy on Twitter, like, going to war with me. He had a little profile picture with the male character with the bunny ears and like leather straps all over his little body and shit like that. I don't know, like some weird ass
talk about me like that, man.
Talking about fucking RP and I'm like, dude, like, I swear, dude, it's the tribalism in every MMO that makes enjoying a new game suck dick. You know, it's the people around you that build the game.
You know what I think? Oh my god, I just accidentally hit the wrong button. But you know what I think is the weird thing about like a lot of games? People fight right now for every single game to be the only game that you play. And it's like, especially on Twitch, right? So it's like when Final Fantasy 14 was the thing, everybody was fighting for it, either for or against it being the only game that you will ever play. When people talk about World of Warcraft, they're like, this is my life, this is my character trait. And now it's the same thing with Lost Ark. And when I look at Final Fantasy 14, the way that I really enjoy that game is playing through the story, because I do like games like that. And Stoopzz, I totally understand that might not be your thing. It wasn't my thing in Lost Ark, right? I didn't really care about the story. But in Final Fantasy 14, I did. And then I really enjoy, the ultimates, and I enjoy going through that content. In Lost Ark, I enjoy the progression, that day to day, my number is getting bigger number, better person, therefore I feel good about myself. And I actually do like the dailies, right? those two games actually go together perfectly for me, right? Because I get those dailies. I have that thing to do with my hands over time in Lost Ark. And then when Final Fantasy has like a big content drop, I can go back and enjoy that. Do you feel like people like try to do that too much as well, guys?
I feel like there's a lot of people who they want their game to be the game. And they have like a lot of their identity built up around the game. So like whenever you're not playing their game or you stop playing their game, they get really mad at you. Like, for example, there was a person who, like, I'll see these comments. I read almost all my Twitter comments. And there was a guy who, he said that I shouldn't. So, like, Final Fantasy Square Enix, they sent me a hoodie because I participated in the media tour for Final Fantasy Endwalker. And the person said that I shouldn't wear the hoodie because I don't play the game. I'm not playing the game right now, so I should not wear the hoodie. I should not be allowed to wear that hoodie. He was like, with all due respect, and it's like that's always the thing. It's like with all due respect, yeah,
you don't deserve to wear that cloth.
Yeah, you don't deserve to wear this hoodie. It's like it was so weird. Like having people that are that like emotionally connected to a game like that is it's certainly it's weird.
I mean, I learned it from WoW. Like I got fucked being the emotional Andy about the game, right? Like I got fucked being a WoW Andy. And so even with Lost Ark, I've said it, so if the game starts to suck dick or they make decisions that I don't like, I'm not gonna play it anymore.
I just play another game.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just gonna play. I just want to have fun. Like I want to play games that are fun.
Yeah,
like, that's what I want to do with my. I'm getting older, bro.
It's not complicated.
Dude, just like imagine getting so emotional about a game that you say to somebody that you don't even know on the internet that you want to rub your nutsack across their chin. Like that's obviously not a healthy place.
I mean, it's super bad. Like people don't forget. Like holy shit, man.
The store, dude, like that's the thing is like, wow, like I feel like a lot of people say, and this is like a criticism of people that are positive about Lost Ark, especially probably like you and I specifically, that they're like, well, why are you okay with this game whenever WoW has a store too? Right? It's like basically like this is some kind of double standard or something like that. But the truth is that like we pay monthly for World of Warcraft and we don't pay monthly for Lost Ark voluntarily.
Dude,
or sorry, we only play voluntary.
Dude, okay, I swear I'm being 100%. You do not have to spend any fucking money on Lost Ark, right? Blue crystals are the currency that you use your gold for. I have friends that I raid with. Some of the raids have been cleared first by people that they're purely free to play, right? Because the way the raids work in general. The funny part is, though, why I think it's humorous, and I'm not shitting on WoW, and it's the same thing with FF. I'm not shitting on any game, right? I do think some of the monetization practices are fucked up. But, dude, you're paying... I tell my friends this, like my friends that don't play MMOs, all of us, we're used to this shit, okay? Like MMO fans. But I tell my friends, you got to pay for the box cover cost. You got to pay for an expansion. You're not buying Call of Duty Black Ops. You have to buy the first Call of Duty, then Black Ops, then you got to pay a monthly fee, like you rent your time like it's fucking Blockbuster. And then they have a cash shop, they sell you gold. Like, suck my dick. Like, that is so much. You know what I mean? Like, that is so monetization for a video game. I know we're used to it, but that's crazy.
Like, we shouldn't be.
When you look, though, at a lot of games, right? The games that make $1 billion, right? Like over $1 billion range, like that crazy range, like games like Genshin Impact, right?
Yeah.
Genshin Impact, I forget how many billions of dollars it made this year, but it's like one of the most profitable games. I think it is the most profitable game of last year. When you look at them, what do they usually have? They usually have like things like daily login rewards. They have things that like a resource like strongholds have, right, where you need to pay for more energy so you can play the game more.
Should never do that, by the way. Just FYI, never do that. Just
never pay for energy
ever. That shit is so useless, bro.
But here's the thing. Okay, the reason that I bring that up, when you look at Lost Ark, I get why people have these visceral reactions.
100%.
Right? Because I think that I said this very early on. I was like, I wish that they didn't have the login rewards. I wish that they gave you these rewards in another way. Because
I agree.
We are trained as a consumer. When you see login rewards, you go, this game is fucking going to rail me. Like, this game is going to try to take advantage of me at some point. I think that Lost Ark, even though a lot of those systems aren't super prevalent, a lot of them really don't even feed into your advantage. All of the crappy systems are there, so I get why consumers get like react to it.
I had the reaction. You know, my first week I didn't like the game, right? So I totally agree with you. I think that should be the conversation more than if the game is pay to win or not. You know what I mean? Because like it clearly is in a lot of people's eyes. If you can buy gold, it's going to be pay to win to a lot of people. But the reality is for a lot of people is most people don't give a fuck. They play mobile games and Genshin Impact. Look at the search results for Genshin Impact. It's one of the most played games.
I have. Like I remember, like I was looking and I was like, man, you know, like let's see how like Genshin Impact is doing. And it's just blowing every other game out of the water.
Yeah, because it's
like,
fun,
what the
right?
Fuck, how did this even happen?
People like games. If the game's fun and the developers give a shit and you get that vibe, people don't give a fuck.
You know what else?
Do I have to spend money?
Don't give a shit.
Is it there to fuck me? And that's all you care about.
I will say too, though, one of the reasons that those games tend to make the money that they do is after you spent a few $1,000s on the game, it's kind of hard to quit, right? And then what ends up happening is somebody goes, wow, and this is for the whales, right? The free-to-play players, you know, they're going to play if they like the game. But when you look at what happens to the whales, in the whales' sick, twisted mind, what happens is they go, I am so invested in this. Now the sunk cost
you can't stop now.
And then what happens?
Stop now.
You play more and you start spending more, right? So
what a surprise!
There is obviously a giant subsidy for idiots like me when they play games, and I do think
but you make it free for somebody else. So you're doing a good cause. You are. I used to play for free because you buy the gold, and it's true though.
Yeah. Let's flip it on its head, right? Because I think that the entire free-to-play argument doesn't actually look at could you play WoW free-to-play? Well, obviously you're going to pay for the subscription, but you could avoid buying tokens, right? The question is though, how does the fact that they exist in the game affect the average player on the day-to-day, right? I think that's the most important question is how do people spending money in this game, how does it affect me? Because if you look at a game like Epic 7, also made by Smilegate, a game that I play a whole bunch, spending money and other people spending money is going to affect the way that you play the game, right? Because when you get to RTA, if you haven't spent enough money, you are going to look like Lucari, which, let's be honest, that is the one thing in the world you do not want to do. You do not want to be Lucari, not ever. You're sitting there, you're just like, and then you come in your hand and you cry, right? It's like the worst thing that could happen. And if you're playing Epic 7, that is something that'll happen because in PvP, you're playing a little bit of a wallet war. So when you look at spending money in this game, how does me, a whale spending money, affect the average player in your mind, Stoopzz?
So really good question. And this is why you get a lot of misinformation around Lost Ark's monetization, is that a lot of Korean players believe that it's not pay to win because the whale, you are the reason why I got a good deal. You and Soda, more Soda, don't forget. Okay. No good. Soda is the reason why the price of the crystals got dropped so low. So
just because he started spam buying them and there was just so many people trying to sell crystals, the price went down?
Lost Ark doesn't sell.
Oh my God.
Mary's shop is so little in mats, right? You buy mats from someone that farms them, right?
Yeah.
So it's a transaction. So if you're buying gold, you're doing a transaction and then you're going to buy the mats from me. Someone that actually farms it, right? So the players that play this game, they benefit from people that do buy gold and they do spend their gold. The free-to-play players, that's how they sell their mats so easily, and that's how the economy runs. And that person allows me to buy things on the cash shop for free.
So the whales are like job creators.
They're like you when you react to my videos. You know what I mean? Like it's like you, and then I get to swim underneath the wake of you. You know what I mean? You get to help me out and my YouTube goes like that.
A literal whale in that case. Okay.
So you guys, so basically all the people that are farming are like little remora fish.
Yeah, I'm a little fishy, you know, I swim underneath the wake of the whale.
Little remora fish.
Yeah, so that's really, jokes aside, that's why players don't, and then in PvP, at least in the competitive modes, it's equalized, right? So that's what they would say. Yes. I agreed with your take. I saw something that you said where if pay to win only affects one small part of the game, I totally agree with you. It should not be judged on just one part of the game. I think you're 100% right. But in the case of Lost Ark, a lot of players don't mind it because it helps them. It benefits them.
I think it's also that they don't care because they're just having fun playing the game.
Also,
it's actually that simple. Like they're like, well, this doesn't matter to me because I'm having fun, and so everything's pretty much fine. You know, it's kind of weird that they have this stuff, but I'm playing the game. It is what it is. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Right? Yeah. It's a fun game.
You know what I hate about the term pay to win? So everybody's gonna make fun of me for being a whale. Everybody's gonna make fun of me for being a whale right now, but this is my honest opinion. Pay to win has a certain connotation to it, right? If I hear that a game is pay to win, it means that I'm gonna enjoy a game for a little while, and then I'm gonna get absolutely screwed over if I don't spend cash. That's what pay to win means to me.
That's what it means to me.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that's the only one, right? Yeah,
exactly. And I don't. And this is going to sound stupid, but bear with me for a second because I always do, and I feel like you guys always give me a shot. So thank you. But this game, I don't think that it is pay to win, but I think that you can spend a lot of money on it and get a lot of advantages for it. And what I mean by that is if you don't spend any money, I think you're going to be absolutely fine. I think that you're going to be able to get to the content that you want to see. You might get there slower than a whale at times, but it's not going to really negatively affect your experience too much. And the whale's not going to ruin your life. Because in a game that I call pay to win, in a game that I call pay to win, the whale will ruin your life. His giant Leviathan cock is going to slap you across the face, and you're going to feel absolutely defeated, and you're going to feel like you're never going to be able to play the game. In this, you're going to see end game content slower. And I think that there is a big difference between that. And the reason why that's important is in a pay to win game, usually the advice is don't play it. Like, don't play this game because your experience is going to be tragically bad at some point. Honestly, Peckies, you're fired, man. You're making me every time I try to have a point, you bring up some disgusting.
I don't get how what is. Explain to me what is the pay to win? What is Genshin? Like, I don't get, because it's a single player game, or I don't understand. I actually don't know.
Honestly, like Genshin, there's really no paid to win, and I'm air quoting right now because there are a lot of reasons to spend money in Genshin. There's nothing to win in Genshin. You're literally walking in circles most of the time, and it's like
why the fuck do people pay money then? Why is it making so much money?
Because it is a gacha in its purest form, where there's so many cool options and there are so many cool things you want to play. Imagine if Super Smash Bros, Asmon, I think this is the best way to put it. Imagine if Super Smash Bros, if you started with like 2 characters, and every time you spent money, you had a chance to get more characters. That's what it is.
God, dude, like that's
what it is. You're collecting characters.
Oh my god!
Wait, you have a
fair way to put it.
You have a chance to buy new characters in the game.
Oh my god.
I mean, yes, it's a gacha. I mean, like, it is a pure gacha. But the thing is I have no idea what the free rolls are like in Genshin because I've always spent money. I have always spent money in Genshin Impact. I have every character in the game.
I'm actually curious. Hold on. I want to understand. So they release characters that are new, and then how you can't buy them. You have to gamble.
Yes. So basically how it works is in the wishing system, if you basically you get a currency in the game where you can wish, and there's a banner, and that banner has like a rate up. So there are limited characters, and those limited characters, basically, if you wish on their banner, I think it's every 100 rolls you're guaranteed a 5-star. And it's a 50%
That's the best one, right?
On that banner to be the one that you want. Every 90, sorry. Thank you, guys. So every 90, you're guaranteed that, but you could wish
is this it right here?
And get it. So it's legitimately a loot box. It's legitimately a loot box. And you're not guaranteed that character unless you are going to wish that certain amount, but you could get it before then. So one of the things that I tell people, if they really do want a character going into it, don't go into it with the mentality of gambling. Have in the back of your mind,
look at it as investing
cost. No. Have in mind the max cost and say, am I willing to spend, if the max cost is like $300, am I willing to spend $300 on this character?
Yeah, Apex had that with the relic items. Yeah, I'm
you
familiar
should go
with
into it with that mentality. And if your answer is no, that would be stupid, then don't do it, because otherwise you are gambling, and you're gambling with something where there's very limited upside, right?
It's fun though. You're having fun doing it.
Can you just buy it outright, or do you have to gamble it?
I mean, you buy it outright when you hit the max. Right?
So you have to gamble it.
The max pit, yes. So the max pity is you're gonna get it with I guess it would be 180 wishes on a rate up banner. If you're in the
how much is a wish?
Chat, do you know? I don't know. I spend OTK money on it.
I think it's like you were buying them last time that you talked to me. You were buying them at $200 a pop, right? Like not each one, not each one, but like there's like a package of them, and he was spending like $1.60 for a wish. Is that it? Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right to me. Now, granted,
$200 for a free. It's $200 for the character. You're saying around that, a little bit more.
Well, yeah, but you see how like what I'm doing in the gameplay right now that Pecky's pulled up a VOD. It's like sick whale freaks out or some shit. What I'm doing is I'm actually, and this is the big whale thing in Genshin.
Yeah.
I'm farming the same character. I'm spending money on the same character over and over again to unlock constellations, which are passive bonuses that you get with dupes. And that's a thing in Omega Whale games that tends to exist. It's like the super whale actually gets passive benefits because they've gotten the same character so many times.
We have something similar in Lost Ark called legendary avatars, but you can buy them outright. So like a player can get it from a loot box that you can earn through the game, or you can buy. But then I'll link it to the dude and he can play it on screen. But you can also just buy them from so everything in Lost Ark also, like you can buy with gold. So I don't know if you noticed this, but the mounts, skins, players can sell them on the auction house. So even things that like
video, I think.
Yeah, well, I linked Peck. This is the legendary avatar. So these are kind of like the legendary skins that you can get, and you buy them one piece at a time. You can't buy them from the cash shop, only through loot boxes. And then players can sell them on the market. So this would be your. It looks fucking dope, and you can dye them. But yeah, these are
Holy crap.
Yeah, the skins we have now in the game are garbage, dude.
Yeah, they're no good skins.
They're so bad. But down the road, we'll get much better ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that.
Well, somebody actually asked me the other day. They were like, they came in my chat and they were like, "Do you think that they'll ever release more mounts on the cash shop?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. Why would they do that?"
Yeah,
like,
they're done making money, man. They don't want it. They don't need any more.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things. You're not gonna go in with the best skin first, right? Like they're trying to make money. You do your garage sale, right? You put out like the absolute junk. And desperate people will buy it to try to look good now, and then you progressively release doper and doper things so people spend more and more money, right? I would not get the current skins, honestly. They're like lame as fuck, unless you really like them, right?
I don't know. There's better ones I thought were pretty cool.
You're gonna get milked. I mean, if you farm gold, you can buy them with gold. You know, but
you're gonna
I'll farm gold. I'll go and I'll farm some gold. Hey guys,
I'm ready.
My character name is
sucker, dude. Overwatch. I spent so much money on those little gamble loot boxes, dude.
You know what's crazy, Stoopzz? And Asmon actually is the only person I know who knows this. So I had all of the Overwatch skins early days, and I've played 0 games of Overwatch.
I don't play it anymore.
I would log on just for the loot boxes, the holiday loot boxes. And I worked at Blizzard at the time, and I was walking up to random people at the office. So basically, Blizzard used to give. I don't think they have any employees anymore, so they probably don't do this. But when people used to work at Blizzard, what would happen is every year as a bonus, they would give you in-game currency, or not as a bonus, as like a holiday gift. They'd give you like $400 in the shop. And like they'd give you 400 BattleNet bonus. And I would walk around to like all the old
asking
boomers.
For it.
Yeah, I would walk up to anyone in the office who I knew didn't play games, because
I like they're over like 50. You're like, hey, you don't know how to use this. Come on, man, let's go.
I'd be like, hey, are you using you're like a pretty cool guy. You probably go out and hang out with your friends. Can I have your BattleNet bonus? And I was like actually like wheeling and dealing, walking up to random people in the office, trying to scam them out of their BattleNet bucks. And I would just use all of it on Overwatch skins.
Oh my god! And you don't even play. You've never been.
Yeah, I never played it. The game sucks.
Oh my god!
I mean, it was okay in the beginning, dude. It was alright.
No, that game sucks. But
I actually like Overwatch. That was good.
I remember going to BlizzCon and thinking Overwatch was the shit, though. I remember the year when Legion and Overwatch came out, 2017, I think it was.
That was a big year. It's crazy to think like how many insane fucking years we had, and like I don't know, like when do you guys think we're gonna have another BlizzCon?
It's never. Awkward. I don't even want to go. I used to. Yeah, I live in California. I used to go all the time.
Well, it's like I wonder, like, how do you, like, what is the speech that, you know, like, I don't know, like if it's Mike Ybarra or, you know, whoever gives at the beginning, like, well, guys, I think you all know what we haven't had one of these.
What was his name with the Tony? What was his name with the?
Jay Allen Brack.
Yellow Brack comes up with the little, it was like the last one. He's like, we're sorry, guys. We'll do better.
We really messed up, guys.
And then outside,
man, we messed up.
Hong Kong signs. I'm like, dude, what is going on, bro? This is crazy.
People dressed up like Winnie the Pooh. Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, Asmon, was it me and you, or was it me and S-Fan who were walking around at BlizzCon and we saw Jab like kind of by himself, and we were gonna say hi to him, and we got was that you and me, or was it me and S-Fan?
No, but I had the same experience.
I was like, should I say hi to this guy, or is he gonna punch me in the neck?
I wanted to just go up to him. It was right after they announced Classic, and like just be like, so yeah, it's crazy, huh? He was like talking to me.
Man, you having a good
like,
day?
Yeah. So vanilla, huh? Isn't that's crazy? And like, I don't think he'd get mad. Like, the thing is that like, I feel like it was no like coincidence that J. Allen Brack. So the investigation, the California investigation, happened about 2 years ago, and that's about right whenever Mike Morhaime retired. And then you remember J. Allen Brack from back in the day, whenever he said that you think you do but you don't, he had completely brown hair. And within 2 years, all of his hair turned white.
Like the presidency.
That guy went hair through hell at the end of his term. But here's what I'll say about Jab. You know the funny thing? You think you do, but you don't, is probably the only thing that he ever said that I agree with. Now, when you're talking about classic WoW, that's one thing. But as a game designer, you should have that mentality of you think you do, but you don't. Yeah, and Asmon, you actually said this when you and me were just talking on Monday night, when we were talking about some game design stuff.
Yeah.
There's a huge thing that game developers, and this is like, Asmon and I have talked about this a whole bunch. A game developer, the real skill of being a game developer is hearing everything that the community asks for and then giving them what they need. And I'm literally quoting Asmon from when we were talking on Monday night. There is a huge aspect of you think you do, but you don't, and figuring out like, where does that complaint come from and how can I fix it as a game designer? Because sometimes as a player, we know the symptom. You know that you have a cough, but it might come from a different source, and the game developer has to know what that source actually is. So that's the only thing that Jab ever did that I agreed with. Everything else I think he did was probably wrong. But look, that's where we're at.
I heard he hated me.
I heard that too.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to go up and talk to him. Be like, hey man, because like he can't be an ass
because I knew you. So
like you don't like me, and this is like at the convention, so you have to be nice, and you don't want to be, and I know that, and let's take a picture together.
I think that's like the. I think that's the one reason why, like with Final Fantasy and then even Lost Ark now, why the communities like the game so much is like the connection that these players have with them now. Whereas Blizzard, it kind of soured really fast. Yeah. And then now I think with these other games, to circle back, I guess a little bit, it's like probably why I think I actually have something here I can show him too.
Okay.
Most of the people who talk to people like the three of us at Blizzard were not very nice to us. There were a lot of really incredible people at Blizzard, and every time that they were nice to us, they got fired. I like their relations with content creators. It was actually stupider than some of the shit they did to their game, because you had people like, look,
it's hard to do.
I don't mean to gas you up right now, Asmon, but you carried their game for a very long time. And obviously you're my friend, and I've known you for a very long time, and I have a lot of respect for you. And you basically gave me my like entire career, and also have been my friend for fucking years. So take everything I say with a grain of salt right now. But I think it's pretty obvious that Asmon propped up that game even when it was dead. And then they were rude to him. I mean, like, just imagine.
I will say this. I do want to say this, that my interactions with Blizzard in probably the past year and a half or so have been nothing but positive. I have had nothing but positive interactions with Blizzard, and it's been zero problems whatsoever on a personal level and on a professional level. There's been no issues. Right.
It's fucking
now that you're not talking to him, it's probably a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, in general, it's like one of those things where it's like the trust is easy to lose and hard to build, right? So now with the player base in Blizzard, it's just all about like them working on that back, and then you see everyone like showing, and you can see how much that carries the game, right? With Final Fantasy and with Lost Ark, I sent him this thing. This is like, every year, Lost Ark does a contest where they have players submit their artwork that they like, and they put these skins in the game, mounts and skins where the players vote on the most, like oh, like this is the best mount.
That's correct. That's actually really cool.
And then they
Holy
pay
shit.
them, and then they give those skins out to free to the community every year. So like, you know how we get like,
yeah,
like the Cataclysm, fucking, we had that one Cataclysm.
So it's almost like what they did with the Wandering Ancient mount.
Yes, it's like that, but they give out.
Which was really cool.
Exactly. But the players design the artwork. So they make the skins, they make the mounts, the animations, and then they give them out for free. But there's like tons of shit. And they do it every fucking year. And it's stuff like that where I guess that's what makes people look past some of the things they don't like about Lost Ark, because they see how other examples too, like conventions and things like that. There was another example recently I was reading about. These are things that got me made me become a Lost Ark Andy. It was like, everyone in Korea thinks that the people that work on Lost Ark, they're underpaid, which they probably are, and they're overworked, which they probably are. And you know what I mean? You're not getting paid that much.
Yeah.
And then so the players brought together $20,000 to decorate the train station that they think the employees take every day to work, with like thank you and appreciation, like artwork and all that stuff, to say like, hey, thanks for working for the game.
Yeah.
And like, it's that little bond that carries a fucking game, dude. Like,
yep.
Well, that's what carried Blizzard. It's like, because Blizzard's had controversies before in the past. It's like, and I told people like straight up, like, this sounds like kind of a you know, like a nihilistic take, right, or a doomer take. But in my opinion, I think that if all of that controversy had come out during Legion, people would be like, well, you know, I mean, we never really heard the whole story, so I mean, you can never be too sure about this stuff, right, guys?
Man.
There's some bad eggs, but let's not let it ruin everything. You know, it's I totally agree, right? The thing with first of all, Stoopzz, that the thing that you just brought up, I had not heard that anecdote. Really cool. I've noticed, Stoopzz, I've watched your stream a decent amount, not as much as I want to because I've been playing 20 hours a day, but you and I both, I feel like, have a lot of people from the Korean community right now watching.
Oh, I've got 30%.
Yeah, I've actually, nice. It's been really cool. They like me because I gamble a lot, which is really nice. But the thing is this community is super passionate about the game, and you start to hear some of the old stories and why they're still here and they're excited to see like a different region play it. And when you see a core community that's existed already for the game, that's a really positive sign. It's a really, really positive sign.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that was the biggest reason. So like going into Lost Ark, one of the big reasons why I had confidence in it, and I was like, no, guys, this game's actually going to be fun, is because the game had proven success in another region. And like, I also saw the gameplay. I feel like the thing is, like, Stoopzz, you seem to be like mostly like a gameplay guy, right? You like, do you give a fuck about the story?
There's one character I think is cool, and it's Katan, but that's the only character I think is cool. The rest of them, I don't want to spoil it. I don't know if you
Okay,
can.
it's not Carmine though, right?
No.
Carmine, dude, he just literally comes in and he's like,
bro, he's just,
that was only a setback.
The story sucks,
bro.
early on, by the way.
Oh my god!
Cool about the story though, it's like One Piece or Doctor Who, where every time they go to it, like a new episode or a different island, it's able to have like a completely different story, right? And you have like the Doctor Who effect, where it's like, oh my god, these nuns are actually, we thought that these nuns were werewolves, but they're nun werewolf vampires from space. It's so many tropes layered upon each other, and you get like ridiculous cutscenes where a dragon's like sucking off like a cyborg, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
I'm waiting on that one. We're waiting on that one.
It's coming, yeah, dude. You're gonna like these dragons even more than you liked Grace Valger, brother. And I know how much you liked his wings. That was the loudest wow I ever heard you say. But the thing is when I look at this game, the actual storytelling and the story, it's literally the searching around the world to get MacGuffins, and there's no character development. Like usually when you have a MacGuffin in a story, the whole point of it is, yes, the MacGuffin is a stupid plot device that has no value at all, is incredibly lazy writing, but it's used as a device to show the character development, right? So you have characters that you care about. In this game, you literally don't care about the characters. It's the laziest character development ever. And every now and then they just create some new NPCs just to kill, and they're like, hey, player, feels sad. Like that cutscene where they kill like a bunch of children and shit.
Oh,
like,
the Amon is the worst.
I was cracking up. I was like, yeah, kill him. Kill that whiny little shit.
I will say, I'm not a big story guy. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm a gameplay guy. Like, you're right. But it does, like I said, like, Asmon, you need to get to Rohandel. And if you don't like the Rohandel, I'm pretty confident that will be one of the best dungeons you've done in a really long time.
Okay.
In any
Did you
game.
get to the mirror fight yet?
He's not there. So I think when you get there, that's amazing stream content. Not too difficult. You won't be there for like forever. It'll be fun.
Bro, he's gonna be stuck on chess, bro.
Don't feel. By the way, I just want to say this too. Don't get like, okay, because don't feel bad for getting shit on. Okay, first of all, this community is brutal as fuck. But the second thing is, dude, I was on that fucking Frost Lizard Virtus for 4 hours trying to solo him, right? And I was getting shit on for 4 hours.
Did you see how close I got?
You, dude, I was
1.7 fucking percent, and I threw that shit in the garbage. I don't know the tell for his grab. I feel like he doesn't even fucking have one. I hate that fucking fight.
I hate the Guardian raids. Not having a health bar. Like, I play a lot of Monster Hunter. I don't think a lot of people know this because I only play it off stream because I kind of think it's a shit stream game. But I really like Monster Hunter. The thing with Monster Hunter is I think it does a much better job of kind of progressively showing you the damage that the giant monster's taking than this game does. Like, you see the parts falling off more, like way more. You see like just
that's something
happen.
Well, there's other different parts is destruction. These are things you'll learn. Parts, it means it's called destruction. You have destruction skills and you're supposed to break their armor. That's another thing. When they flee, that's a sign that they've lost
they've lost a percentage of health.
I understand that that's there, but I feel like it's not as clean as Monster Hunter. And with this game, it switches your mindset so quick where it's like, I'm hitting one thing for 15 minutes, and the mechanics are... I don't think that they're as flashy or as exciting as like an Abyss dungeon, and you're not having that nonstop number dopamine that you have in a Chaos dungeon. So for me, without the health bar and without seeing it go down, I don't have enough numbers to get like that adrenaline rush of like numbers, dopamine, and I get bored in the Guardian raids. But I know that can change over time.
I mean, it's
I don't know. I like the Guardian raids a lot, but I just don't like that one fight.
He's the worst melee fight in the game, and you're playing a berserkers. But anyways, these are I think you guys are in a very early stage. I'm not saying, I hate that like wait however long the game gets better kind of a thing. Yeah. And maybe you are enjoying yourself. I don't know, but you guys are in store for... That's the one good thing about this game, is that for a lot of people, we're going to have so much content that one of my big fears coming up is that it's going to be too fast. We have Argos coming up. I'm worried about it, to be honest. We have Argos coming up and then Vault in. And these fights are fucking significantly harder than what you guys have been doing. So
good.
Like with April, I just finished that on Russia. That was one of the fucking hardest things I've ever done in my life, straight up. So like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes and how the pacing is, and it'll be fun to see. Yeah.
Asmon, can I call people in your chat pussies? I just realized that maybe I shouldn't have done that.
What are they saying?
I wasn't trying to be mean. Somebody was like, "You've barely played the game," and I went, "I've played 20 hours a day, you pussy." Keck W.
Rich is quite a lot. The thing is, like, there are like,
I can say that.
Yeah. There's you can call them pussies. It's fine. You can.
You're pussy, dude.
And so that's the way I see it. Like, I like the Guardian raids. I like the idea and like the narrative of one warrior up against a gigantic beast, right? And like, that was the coolest thing for me. And like, so being able to solo them, I know they're easier in a group. In my opinion, people say, oh no, they're easier solo. Fuck that. They are so much easier in a group. You have buffs, you have heals, you have everything. That's right? True. It's way fucking easier. But doing it solo feels really fucking good. And I think it tells a much better narrative. So I love doing it. It's just that I do wish they had the health bars, and I did the Abyss dungeons, but the unfortunate thing is, like, we did the second Abyss dungeon, and I queued in with a guy with an item level of 1,000.
Yeah, so... And
that made it a little bit easier.
This next one, do your best to just get a whatever group.
I'm going to make my own group within 100.
Just try, because that's the dungeon that got
bard,
me.
Bro. You need a pocket bard. It changes everything. You just need a bard, bitch. Dude, I actually, my bard is still higher. I actually leveled a bard that I'm going to character change its name to like Asmon's assistant or some shit.
Okay.
I literally have leveled a bard and kept it around the same item level as you, and it is your personal personal bard for when we raid together. And then I have my other main that's just like that's my Chad character that I'll play without you. But you have no idea, Asmon, how good it actually is when you are in a group with 4 friends. Last night, Tectone and I raided together with Pancake Tornado. Like, we were just like hanging out, and the second that you get to that, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I feel like the old days of WoW again. Like when I have a raid I want to beat.
Really? Okay, yeah, that actually
so
sounds really good. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that. I'd really like to see, you know, like an opportunity to do some of those raids and like play with other people too. But I will be honest, I've always been kind of a solo Andy. So like for me, being able to fight the boss solo and do that is like really, really cool. Like going into Lost Ark, that was the main thing I was excited to be able to do, was those big solo challenges. Like to me, that's just the coolest shit ever.
If you could solo Belganus, which is probably arguably the hardest Guardian raid, that's going to be in tier 3. If you can solo that, that's what everyone like the Korean community says. That's your citizenship card. Like that's your, if you can solo that Guardian raid, which it'll come up, you'll probably get there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
that is. I never sold it. So if you can solo that shit,
right? You know, that's your big dick pass.
That's the big dick pass.
Okay. Somebody in chat actually just said Rich is a terrible sorceress, and I want to say one thing about that. I actually agree, and one of the reasons that I know that this game is good, when I die in this game, I always go, wow, I suck. Like that was my fault. And one of the things with like click to move games and like ARPG games is a lot of the time, I feel like when you die in that kind of control scheme, you usually go, this game's fucking bullshit. How the fuck was I supposed to dodge that? There was nothing I could have done. And I think one of the reasons I really believe in this game is when I mess up, I go, wow, I suck. I want to get better. The game told me that was coming. My positioning could have been better. I shouldn't have jumped in to randomly play Sorceress like Gun Lancer up in its face. And that to me, like this game feels fair when you die. And if it didn't feel that way as an MMO, that it has raids that you're supposed to do mechanics. If it didn't have that, it would be a bad game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one thing that, like, again, a lot of the other Guardian raids, like there's, as I said, that one guy, I fucking hate that boss. I think it sucks. But all of the other ones, I think, do a great job at telegraphing exactly what they do. Like, especially that guy that, like, he jumps around. I forgot even what his name is. He's the third Guardian in tier 1. Like, I think that's actually such a good fight, because every single thing that he does is very well telegraphed. And you know exactly how to deal with it.
It won't do that anymore for you. So this is the fucked up part. Like the truth is the game will show you these telegraphs, and then slowly you're gonna have to read like the twitch the boss does before.
Well, that's what I mean though, right? Is like
you'll have that. But Virtus does have that. You know, I can tell you if I look at that fight when he's gonna grab you, when he's gonna. But just to be fair, I sat there on that boss on my stream a few months ago for 4 hours and got told I'm shit for 4 hours straight. So like. Don't feel bad about it at all, like that,
bro.
Nobody in your chat can do it.
I'll come back and get them tomorrow. You know, like it's you just get a little bit better gear, and you know the fight better. Like I've only done it 2 times, right? And so like, okay, well, I mean, obviously there's more to learn.
Dude, this is one of those games, especially for me after coming off the back of playing like 14, where you know if the only way you could be bad is if you're dyslexic. The thing that I'm coming off the back, which I am, the only thing that I'm coming off the back of is the moment where everybody in the chat, no matter how well you played, when you die, everybody going
fucking garbage,
bad. Yeah, and it's like it actually at first you kind of have like that, like shut up, I'm fine. Like I did my best. But like now like I'm starting to get, like actually like enjoy that moment as well, and like realizing I'm gonna say it no matter what.
The Korean players come out of nowhere and they have this thing where it's like a dead body, but it's like white text. Maybe someone in the chat will do it. And they'll spam it looks like a mummy. And they'll all spam this shit in my chat, and they'll go, "You are noob," and it's like a little dead. I don't know if somebody will do it, but they spam the shit out of that every time I die. Still, dude, this fucking day I've cleared all the raids, and these motherfuckers still spam this little like thing in my. It sucks dick, man. And I just want to enjoy.
Good when you see that backwards F, dude. When chat starts spamming that, Stoopzz, you're like, "Oh my god, I did it."
That's the laugh, or like I think it's like happy or something like that.
Yeah. So it's like that is that. So like if you see like the chat spamming that, like that's like
they're probably
Korean LOL. Yeah, and also I don't know, Asmon, if you've noticed this yet. When you're playing when you were playing Final Fantasy, if you start getting W spam, like it's like www or www, that means that it's LOL. It's not like it's not an Aiden Ross raid. It's LOL.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
They're probably trying to do it, and they're just getting machine gun timed out right now.
Yeah, I know they're doing it. Yeah, they're actually getting completely fucked over. Like, we need to change the bot because, like, yeah, there's a lot of people from Korea that have been watching the stream. I think it's fucking great. Like, I love that. I think that's awesome.
Oh, you're popular, dude. I was like on my YouTube feed. There's like all these videos of you with like a soul.
Really?
Like a flat. Yeah, dude. You're
what
everywhere
the
on YouTube.
fuck?
You are.
You know what your Korean nickname is yet, Asmon?
What is
I have one.
Yeah, I don't know what yours is. I know what mine is. Stoopzz, wait, what's your nickname in Korea?
Hanwoo.
Wait, mine translates to pink strawberry. I don't apparently because I get red a lot and I like when I start laughing and my face turns color. They call me pink strawberry.
I could see that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of badass, right? But I'm like,
yeah, it's super cool, man. It's really cool, dude. I'm happy for you. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. No, I mean, like, I don't know. I think that's cool. And like, also the fact that like people can play together and can you play with people from the EU? Like, I don't think you can in this game, can you?
No, one of the big
I wish you could.
It'd be sick. One of the big things that sucks is that's why I went east, because east and west are separated in the US. I didn't know that.
There's more people. There's more people there. Because like I wanted to do a tournament for the game. And like in the process of doing that, like, well, I'd want to do a tournament with the most people, right? Of course. And so it's like, why would I want to play on a server cluster that has 5 servers whenever I could play on one that has 10? Like, it's just common sense.
Yeah, I went east for that.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
killed the west apparently with my like saying that west would be dead or whatever. That's what they say.
Well, I mean, that's their fault. I mean, like, they shouldn't have it like that. I mean,
that's what I said too.
For real. Yeah, you shouldn't make the game that way. Like, nobody wants to fucking deal with that. People always want to play together. Like, the West servers actually are better. They have a better latency for me, but I don't give a shit.
Me too.
Right?
Me too. Yeah.
Doesn't matter at all. Oh yeah. Of course it is for you, right? Yeah.
I live in I live in SoCal.
Yep.
Guys, I do want to remind you as well. Coming up in a little bit, production just told me to say this as they're absolutely roasting me with all these Peckies. I don't know what I did to you. I genuinely don't know what I did to you, but I'm sorry. But production wanted me to remind you that at the very he wants a raise. They wanted me to remind you that at the end of this episode, we're gonna be doing that Q&A with the same tech that we used last week. So this is gonna we got a while until we're gonna get here, but you can actually put questions in the chat. They'll automatically pop up on the screen, so you can ask Stoopzz and Asmon anything that you want.
We realize that like a lot of you guys are boomers and you don't have Twitter, so asking the questions on Twitter wasn't really doing very well for us. So yeah, now you just ask them in chat, and we were able to parse it out, and it's okay.
Dude, when I came on this shit, it was so much more scuffed. You have these questions now. Yeah, little Allcraft thing. Look at that.
Oh yeah,
it was not like this. It was rich fucking typing names out and shit in Discord. Holy shit.
Dude, isn't it crazy, man? That was probably 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so the episode, I remember that episode super fondly. It was the second PvP summit. It was you and Savix from the solo queue community, which, with our hard work, we got it done because now in WoW, you're the only person playing the game. We didn't think that it was going to be that way, but we got solo queue.
Have a little test thing,
it is solo queue after all.
Last thing, okay, but I just realized I stopped playing about 8 months ago, and whatever, I'll try the next expansion out. But I cannot believe these motherfuckers are in the same patch as when I left. I just thought about that. Like, I saw a little survival guide. They're in the same fucking raid tier and the same arena season as when I stopped playing. I couldn't believe that. I'm not even trying to shit on the game. That's fucking mind-blowing. I know it's been a rough year, but like, holy fuck, dude.
The thing is, like, if it happens again in the next expansion, then I'll be like, okay, well, Blizzard is just fucking up, right? I'm willing to give them a mulligan because obviously, they had like this is like massive national news, like how bad Blizzard was, right? And so like, I understand. Yeah, I get it. But like, we'll see what happens with this next expansion, okay? Like, I'm not expecting a miracle, but we'll see. Again, we'll see what happens.
Look, I've shit on Blizzard a lot over the past few years, sometimes even when I worked there, which probably wasn't the smartest business move.
Well, that's why you don't work there anymore.
Yeah, but the thing that I will say is there are still a lot of great people at that company that didn't do anything wrong, that had to deal with a lot of the things that were going wrong. And my heart goes out to them because they just wanted to be there and make a better game for all of us. Yeah. And I hope that with the changes that are happening, they finally have the tools to do that for the first time again in a while. Only time's going to tell if they have those resources. I will say, though, without saying any names, Asmon mentioned for the future of WoW, kind of his ideal guest, and through the power of emails, we're already in contact working on it. So we might have a very interesting Allcraft episode soon where we're able to put that under the spotlight and talk about the future of WoW. So yeah, Asmon, David literally already got in contact for us. So we're working on it. I'm not going to say any names because if it gets clipped out of context, it might scare them off. But we're working on it.
Somebody said Bobby Pog.
Did you see Ghostcrawler's comment today?
I did see that.
I actually didn't.
So this is what he said. I'll read it out to you real quick. So somebody asked Ghostcrawler, would you ever go on Allcraft? And basically that's what he said with Rich and them. And they responded back and they said, Ghostcrawler said, I tend to never say no. And then I responded with a smiley face. And then Ghostcrawler responded to me. He said, when we get close, there is more to talk about.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Damn,
holy shit.
That sounds like a sexting threat. Jesus Christ! It sounds like you and Ghostcrawler up at 4 in the night. The only light in the room is the cell phone. Like you up, look, and it's like when we get close, I will have more to talk about. Like Jesus,
look, dude, I'll take it. It doesn't matter to me. That's fine. I'm happy.
I'm excited for that though. That'll be cool.
Yeah. Here's the thing that I will say. Obviously, we know that Ghostcrawler is working on something for Riot, right? That's kind of what we all know. I imagine that won't happen for a very long time.
I'm thinking 2024.
Maybe even longer, honestly.
Wow.
I mean, they have a lot of resources. But a game like this, I don't think we really have an idea. So I think it's best to stand on the air of it's going to be a long time, and then if we're pleasantly surprised, we are.
I think some info with Arcane Season 2, like Bat Chest, like all of that coming together would be great, right? Like a nice little beta or some kind of alpha footage, or just that would be great, right?
I would love to talk to Ghostcrawler though about just how he sees the state of MMORPGs right now, because dude, the last time you were on Allcraft 2 years ago, there was nothing to talk about besides WoW, and now we're here in Stoopzz. You've already mentioned Final Fantasy 14. You've obviously mentioned Lost Ark, which is the game that most of us are playing right now. You mentioned the state of WoW, and we've talked about New World. Think about how much the landscape's changed, and we still have games like Blue Protocol, which I kind of think is never going to come out at this point, but it might. That's still there. We know Riot's potentially working on something, so it's a really good time to be there.
It's a cool time. Player. Yeah.
Old school RuneScape, true. Ashes of Creation, that game's never come out.
Yeah, that is.
Well, no, I mean, did you guys see? Yeah, did you guys see the Unreal 5 engine for Ashes of Creation? It looked really promising. I'm super excited, honestly. I really am.
I don't think that game's ever going to come out.
You don't think so? I think it will. I really do. I think it will. There's no reason for it not to. And I feel like they already have a certain degree of, I mean, I don't know.
I think it'll come out.
Right. I hope that you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't like how he was like, well, okay, this is just my take, and I could be completely wrong.
Okay.
I didn't fucking like how he was like, oh, it's going to be like the most, he was like the biggest launch or the most unparalleled launch. He said that in the little thing. I'm like, dude.
I know.
The balls for you to say that when you know how much shit's up against you. But you know what? He said he thrives in that. So
well, that's the thing.
I was so glad that he said that, because now we are ready with the clip. So whenever Ashes comes out and the servers are down, we play the clip of Steven saying, man, no, we're not going to have any of these launch problems these other games have. There's no way it's going to happen.
The balls, dude.
We've got the fucking clip. I love it.
Look at everything that this game had working for its launch. You can make fun of Amazon as much as you want, but you literally had a game that's already been out in other regions that then has the Amazon server scaling capabilities. And if anybody knows anything about Amazon servers, there are a lot of things that you can say to kind of be like, they suck. But also at the same time, the one thing that they actually do very well is scale up. That's the reason why people use AWS.
There's a reason why everybody uses it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had everything going for them on this launch, and there were still some difficulties. I think they did a pretty good job.
Well, I actually, in my opinion, I think that they were not ready even remotely to how popular the game was going to be.
I agree. No one,
because everybody who's saying EU Tech W, why would you invest in EU servers when they're not going to pay to win, man? Fuck EU.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
about servers are great.
I don't know about EU servers at all. But like what I do know is like the NA servers were, I mean, like my server wasn't really that bad because like Galatar isn't like a super populated server. It's just like kind of medium pop-ish. So it's okay. But I'm sure that like for bigger servers it'd be worse.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
EU players, that was a joke. I feel so bad. Like people are so upset right now.
No, you don't joke around with the EU players, okay? Like that's not going to happen. Trust me. But no, I feel like the graph that Lost Ark has for growth is actually really, really tremendous. And the reason why is the fact that, like, think about how many games are a flash in the pan that the moment after the game comes out, it's just, all right, well, that was fun, now what? And we're over a week out of launch, or sorry, through with launch, or at least like the pre-launch thing. And people are still playing the game. You're still getting 1 million people that are online concurrently on Steam. It is massively popular. And I think that's a tremendous success.
I feel so bad about that, dude.
About New World? Yeah.
I feel so bad, man.
Dude, I really, like, I've told people, like, I really like New World. Like, I know people are going to get mad about this. They're going to be like, no, that's not an opinion you're allowed to have. Why does Asmon keep having the wrong opinion? But the fact is that I actually think that New World, I like it a lot. I enjoy the game. I wish there was something to do in the game, but whenever there is something to do in the game, I have fun. It's great.
I just feel bad because the game got fucking shit on, dude. Like with they got the cup, the draw stripe haze, the giant fucking sausages that like steals your bank account info and you click on it. Like, I don't know, like that shit was so fucked up. Like all of the bad news and then I don't know, man. I just hate seeing an MMO flop like that. I didn't think this game would be that big because you know, it just puts a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Like the next MMO that comes out is going to be shit too, and that's
someone. But someone mentioned. Crazy? Well, I want to say one thing real quick before we move away from the population thing. Someone mentioned, didn't New World retain players for a week? No, it had less than half as much players as it had after only 1 week of the game.
Yeah, and wasn't it like it didn't really see like a hard fizzle out after like 3 days or something like that? I think I have that number.
It had lost like half of its players within like a very, very short period of time. Like I'm talking like probably 5 days.
Yeah. It was 3 days. So the thing is with New World, and something that Stoopzz said is like he basically said I feel like it's bad for an MMO to come out like that and completely flop because the next MMO, I actually think it's funny. I think that New World helped Lost Ark a little bit because expectations are like a little bit different and you're still looking for that new game and nothing could be worse than that in a weird way. So I feel like this has happened in MMOs quite a bit.
It's like the Microsoft acquisition of Blizzard. Hey guys, can't get worse, right?
Yeah, it can't get worse. True.
Well, when you look at I look back at when the Warhammer MMO launched, and the Warhammer MMO had so much potential, and I
liked that game, man. I was the last one on. I was like Asmon with New World, bro. I was the last one on those fucking servers, dude.
We probably played together because there was only like 4 of us. I was playing Squig Herder, just like chatting out.
I was the chopper, dude. The fucking
hell yeah. Marauders were cool too.
Yeah,
the game was pretty neat, but the problem that Warhammer had, and Ashes of Creation already suffers from this as well. It hyped stuff up a little bit too quickly, so by the time it came out, anybody who was a sane person had already forgotten because it got hyped up so early, and then everybody who was still there was a fanatic and they had listened to everything, and there were too many promises made and the game couldn't live up to it and it dies. But when that happened with Warhammer, it actually started a really good age in other MMOs because people kind of felt like they had been done dirty. And I think it did a lot to help World of Warcraft as well because it was supposed to be one of the WoW killers at the time. So I think that New World, New World made it, I think, a better space for the MMO ecosystem.
Well, I think it's just good to see, and I feel like New World, all right, this is probably a bit of a copium take, but like, I feel like New World will probably get better in time. Like, I mean, or at least I hope so, because like it is a buy to play game. And that is one good thing about New World is the fact that after you buy that game once, that's it. You never have to buy it again.
But I feel like it needs an expansion to get that. Like,
it will. It needs an expansion. You're totally right.
You know the problem with the game, in my opinion, and Asmon, you know much better than me because you spent a lot more time playing it.
Yes.
But the thing with New World is it has the fingerprints all over it of a dev team that pivoted too much. It takes a long time to develop an MMO. So what you have to do is you have to pivot to whatever the zeitgeist is. It starts out as like this survival game. And when I looked at the game, I thought that some of the things that were the most interesting was like the idea of skilling in the game, right? Like I liked it was like, this is a new control system for a game that should be old school RuneScape in a lot of ways. But there are just so many of these systems that made it feel disconnected. The other systems weren't fully fleshed out, and you just have this soulless world that doesn't have a focus on what makes it a good game.
I feel like the problem with New World is a problem that a lot of people have, is that they don't want to compromise on their vision. So like they have a vision for the game, and like they have an aesthetic where it's like, oh, you're supposed to be going out and exploring in the world. Well, people don't want to have to run like a long time to get from point A to point B. So it's just like they listen to the old school MMO crowd, which you can clearly see is not a lot of people. And it's like Azoth, I think, is a really good example. Like imagine Azoth is like a resource that you need to travel around, to fast travel around in the world. Azoth, like if you took Azoth out of the game would immediately be better. And it's like a massive system that the game is entirely built around. But they're not going to do that because either they wanted to sell it on the store, or they just are so attached to the idea. And I think that's kind of what happened also with New World, is that developer team is very attached to ideas that they have, like exploring out in the world and that kind of stuff. And they're not willing to compromise on those ideas whenever people don't really like them.
But there was things like the body blocking in dungeons that was fucked. Like I was like, how is this even in the game? A dungeon, and I can't even hit the goddamn boss because we're all like fucking.
It's bad. Like that's all there is. It's just bad.
Like that. I'm like, how do they think this was okay? Like, disable it in PvE? Like it doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
I feel like
it's disabled in towns. Like it's already disabled in towns.
I don't know.
I feel like New World also, and Asmon, you can correct me if I'm wrong once again. I feel like New World did a very good job of hearing feedback, but they didn't do a good job at actually focusing on what was truly needed. And it was like, oh, they said this, so let's give them this, and the players probably needed something different.
Well, yeah, I think that's what it is. And it's it's just systems like, I think it's literally as simple as this. There are systems in New World that are designed to waste your time. And whenever a player feels like their time is getting wasted by go run 20 minutes over to this guy, and he says, hey, thanks. And then you have to run back to turn in a quest.
Dude, you know what's I think it's funny about this is that people will make, there's like the fucking, like, I don't want to call them boomers, but whatever, dude. It's like the people that are like, oh, like, well, then you're not a real MMO fan if you like when I was complaining about how much of that shit there was in the game. It's like, oh, that's part of being in an MMO, dude. I remember like bitching about it. Oh, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, that shit's not fucking fun, bro. Like, I don't want to do, like, it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, I don't want to waste my time. And I feel like a lot of those kinds of people, they don't actually play the game. Like a lot of those, they don't really play the game. They don't interface with any of the systems. They really have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah. Like I learned this from the WoW forums, because there would be people who were talking about how bad Master Looter was. Oh man, Master Looter is the worst possible thing, and people are getting their loot stolen left and right. It's happened to me multiple times. And you go on their armory profile, and the last time they did a raid outside of LFR was Icecrown Citadel during Mists of Pandaria. Okay, like you've never done this before. Like you have no idea what happened. Like you have no fucking clue about the game. You don't know shit. And, you know, meanwhile, you're sitting around talking about how, you know, this is what people are doing. So, yeah, I hate that kind of stuff. I find it super annoying. Yeah. And, yeah, I think that's true, too. And I feel like MMO players, basically, there's a certain amount of MMO players that like getting their time wasted. It's like they view, like, having to spend time and having your time wasted is part of the game. And because of that, like sometimes game developers listen to people like that who are, you know, they take pride in having their time wasted or in investing huge amounts of time into time wasting systems. And, you know, those people end up getting a voice. And I think that's one of the things that happened with New World, is that those people were listened to and they shouldn't have been.
Well, it's like Lost Ark in the raids. One of the things I like about Lost Ark, and FF has it too, I believe. Yeah. When you wipe, you're right there in front of the boss, ready to fucking go. I don't have to go re-consume
don't
up,
have to farm a
rerun
bunch
back.
of consumables and bullshit like that.
Man,
Exactly.
buffs. Fuck that. I just want to go. Let's go. Let's pull again.
Yeah.
Okay, wrap it up. Let's pull again. Like that's what makes for me progging or whatever it is, like pulling the boss 100 times more enjoyable than like, okay, time to, because it kills the raid, it kills the morale. Like this is fucking boring. I don't want to do this. And
yeah,
I like those types of changes, man.
Well, it's just boring. Like that's all it comes down to. Like it's wasting my time. Like I don't want to sit around like, and people say it's like, oh, well, this is, it punishes you for making a mistake. Well, I'm not playing 50 Shades of Grey. I don't want to be punished. Like losing is punishment enough. I don't need my time wasted on top of losing to remind me that I lost. I know that I lost.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like there's a lot of and I think that also most games that have like those super punishing systems as well, they don't have like super hard content either. So it's like you either have something that's super punishing.
It's like classic WoW, right?
Yes.
The biggest time waster of all time wasters.
Yes, exactly.
The easiest content of all time,
Yeah, and it's like, well, you can't just expect to have it handed to you for free. It's like, well, actually, you did one mechanic, so you kind of did get it for free. Let's be honest.
To be fair, I mean, the guy has a lot of shit, but this is probably what they thought when they wanted to re-release Classic WoW. Like, hey, you guys probably don't want all of this shit back, and that might be one of the things, dude, that like I don't really miss,
No, that's an incredibly intelligent point. I totally agree. And
you didn't hear what I said, man.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. And we're not we're not playing 50 Shades of Grey.
No, we're not. Well, I'm certainly not. Like for me, I lose. Like trust me. Like I died on that Virtus boss today. I was not happy. I was upset. I didn't need to run back to the boss. I was already. It sucked. And why was that? It's because the boss was hard. Like creating punishing mechanics is just an excuse because you can't make a good game.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a challenge and an annoyance, and I think that it's way easier to make an annoyance. Trust me, my parents made me. But the thing is sometimes in a game you have to be critical and say, is this just an annoyance or is this actually a good system?
Yeah.
Also, I do want to bring up another thing. This is a little bit of a pivot, but how do you feel about alts in the game, Stoopzz? Because I know a lot of people are talking about alts and how you utilize them to funnel to your main. And there are a lot of people talking about this being a very alt heavy game. You know the game better than me and Asmon at this point. I'm simply a 1000 item level tier 2 plebeian.
You're doing pretty good, bro.
No, I know I am doing pretty good. I also have 1, 2,
got the best gear money can buy.
6. I have 6 level 50s. All of them are female characters. The thing that I will say is, look, I'm not a weird boy. I wouldn't be playing all female characters if I had a choice. They're gender locked. I didn't only pick the classes that had female characters. Look, I don't like to get on a female character and just sweat it out and only play. Like, I'm a man and I want to play big man characters with big swords.
Bro, all my friends
I didn't have a choice.
All bunny girls fucking at the nightclub and shit like that.
Yeah,
dude.
you can just say his name.
Yeah, Savic's out there with all the fucking dudes, little light sticks, fucking nipple chains and shit. I don't know. They're like,
oh yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's there's content for that. People enjoy that shit.
I play Lost Ark to get gear, and then I get on Final Fantasy to unwind. My favorite part of Final Fantasy is obviously the story. And then my second favorite part is the ERP, honestly, the electronic role play, where you can just get an electronic environment and create your own stories, right? It's basically a story creating narrative to further enhance that lore of the world.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. I love the story so much that I want to make some of my own stories. And it's like with I don't know if you guys have ever watched the hit show Supernatural with 13 seasons on the CW, but sometimes it wasn't enough, so people wrote their own stories, right? They went about writing about what was actually going on between Sam and Dean. Did they take it too far? Sometimes, maybe, but that's what I like to do in Final Fantasy II. And then the third thing is actually the raids, and I think having a game really like that. Honestly, Stoopzz, if one day you were like, I really want to play 14, the Ultimates, I think you would love. Yeah, I think that you would love it. But here's the other thing. I know you like PvP. And when you look at Final Fantasy XIV's PvP, we're going to know more tomorrow about what the new PvP is going to look like. There's obviously a lot of potential there.
Yeah, the live letter.
I think that the PvP in the game could end up being good with the system that they've shown, but they haven't done that yet. They haven't ever had good PvP really in the game yet. I don't think a lot of people love the feast. Wait, it is tomorrow, right? The live letter?
Yes, it is. People told me about it. It's tomorrow at 8.
8 at night?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that would be 9 my time. Yeah, they usually do it pretty late because obviously they're in a different place in the world, so it's probably a normal time. But yeah, what do you think about... actually, let's start with the alts.
And then question and then the PvP question.
Yeah.
Alts are definitely not as important as people think they are. What I would say, they're not. What I would say, though, is early on, they're not as important as people think they are. Later on, the game will give you these free, which is another, I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? Like this 1302, like item level tier 3 you're trying to get to, when Vaultin comes out, which is the first raid, you're probably going to get a new class and a free 1302 boost. They will give you a free boost to 1302, which is why you should be doing the things that you're doing, the collection shit, because that you can't boost through. You will get level boosts, and you can pay your estate to boost you that item level. So you'll get the opportunity. They will give you an alt, and my advice with making an alt is to have an alt when a new class comes out and you want to try it, like for content, for stream, or whatever.
So I'm the only person who's really playing the real game. Is that what you're saying?
You're doing what you should be doing.
That's right. Yeah. I know.
It's not gonna, dude. Everyone's gonna. You're all gonna be stuck at an item level waiting for the raid, and you're gonna have done the stuff that they're gonna end up having to do.
Yep, I'll have every Pokemon card.
You can never knowledge transfer past 302, right? Like the other knowledge transfers are just story skips, right, Stoopzz?
It will knowledge transfer through the story skip, yeah, because you're gonna have to go through that, yeah.
So I like, dude, this game is incredible. It's really cool how the alts work and being able to skip, because that gold sync's not gonna matter that much, right? So you get the 2 free power passes. So the second you get a 50, you just get for free. You can just get 2 alts, and then after that, you just stronghold. And you knowledge transfer, takes 8 hours. I think you can change it a little bit over time, right? Because isn't there like 20% chance for increased success rate?
Yeah, so what you should do, everybody listening, by the way, you know what's really funny? We were talking about blue crystals. Somebody sent me a message saying that after we talked about you should convert your gold to blue crystals, 30,000 orders went in, which is hilarious. So everybody is now converting their gold to blue crystals. That's funny. But what you should also do is you should also go to your stronghold, and every time you beat a tier on your main, you go to the stronghold, and it's under the laboratory tab. It's the bottom option. It will reduce the amount of mats it costs for your alt by 20% and give you a 20% increase, success rate increase, a 20% buff on all of your upgrades. So it makes it easier for your alt once you beat the content on your main. And then a lot of people do knowledge transfer to just beat the story for them. We didn't have that on Russia. We have it on Korea. Where if you don't want to level, you just pay the dude in your stronghold the gold and he does it for you. So you don't have to level shit. The game really does a lot of stuff for you with gold that you don't have to do yourself. So it is
That's
nice.
Crazy.
Yeah, like I seriously, I use my 2 power passes and I knowledge transfer three characters. So I have a level 50 Sorceress, Bard, Shadow Hunter, Gunslinger, Soulfist, Deathblade.
Wow. Oh, shit.
That's a whole lot.
To have them.
Well, you know why I had to do it, though? It was for the login screen. Like, I want to log in to, and they're like, I just have like my 6 characters. Like, whoa, it's been so long, woo. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? My Gunslinger, Amaranth, like, is, I'm
is that really the name?
Wait, do I have a way to share screen right now?
Did you actually name your Gunslinger?
I'll take your word for it. I'll take it.
Holy shit!
Yeah, here, I'll show you right now. This is my login screen when I log in every day. Like, I really I enjoy it a whole bunch.
You look really good though. Loves to spoon, step on me, please. Amaranth, Emily. Wait, isn't that Ms. Kiff's?
What the fuck, man? What the fuck is this?
Holy shit, dude! Oh, your pictures look good though.
Whoa.
Wait, Pecky's is like screenshot. I don't know how to take a
Yeah,
screenshot.
we're gonna show you guys. Give it a minute, guys. Give it a minute. We just gotta. We've gotta make sure
I'm in Microsoft
something.
Paint right now.
Okay.
Oh, he got it. Never mind.
Oh, thank God.
Benefit. Oh, there it is. I actually like your actual character though. The Rich Campbell character looks good. That's a nice one.
It's a great game. Like I really like that you can mess around like that. And really explore with the character creation system.
The benefit to having all of them though, just for those to answer your question quickly, is that every time you raid, you get paid gold. So people will raid on multiple characters. So it's like after you beat the raid tier, if you want to keep playing, when you raid, you get paid just raw gold for just doing the raid. And then all of the mats that you would get from your alts and things like that, you let rested build up. There's a rested benefit in the game, if you've noticed that at the top.
Yeah.
This green bar fills up, and people, they don't do anything on their alt to let it fill up to full. They do one Guardian raid, one Chaos Engine, milk it. If you get double the mats when you have rested. It's like rested experience, but rested yeah. So that's what you do, and you just let it build up, and then you give the mats to your alts. But I had 2 characters, my main character, but people just gave me gold and shit like that. So
it's good, right?
You don't have to do shit, bro. You don't have to do anything.
It's good. It's awesome.
I just don't do anything, and they'll mail me stuff. So yeah.
The thing that I've like started to notice a lot of people miss out on, Stoopzz, is like the weekly vendors. I feel like people don't talk about it enough. Like even with Chaos Dungeons, like everybody goes in, they use their whatever it's called. They do like the 2 a day with what's it called? It's like Aura of something. Resonance.
The names are
Aura
different.
Resonance. Yeah. It's like Aura of Resonance or whatever. But you should do all of the weeklies for your leap stones and things like that. And like last night I was on and I didn't know that there was going to be maintenance, so I didn't plan accordingly, so I didn't get to like buy out that vendor, which would probably put me behind by a little bit. So like there's pirate coins, there's the pirate coins weekly vendor, there's the Chaos Dungeon weekly vendor. Are there other ones that players should be paying attention to?
There's you got it. So the Chaos Dungeon vendor you should milk early on. Just spam Chaos Dungeons. After you do your 2 Chaos Dungeons, you get loot for those, right? After that you get a currency. And that currency goes to the vendor, and you can buy any mats that you're missing, engraving books. So you should just spam. If you're down to spam Chaos Dungeons, you can do it. There's also the pirate vendor that you can take from every week, and you can do it on your alts if you want and send those mats to your main. There's also a PvP vendor that's not out in the game that will give you mats for PvE if you do PvP. Those are the main ones. Also, your guild vendor has the same thing where you can milk it weekly and just take the stuff. And there's the benefit of that. Also, another thing is doing your Guardian raids. Last thing is the Guardian raids. Even though you can only do 2, you can still farm them for the runes. And again, the runes are account wide, and those are huge. Make Berserker feel a lot better. You want those haste runes. It makes all the animations on Berserker way faster.
The fuck is a rune?
Oh, dude.
You kill it, they drop from Guardian raids. So you can farm the Guardians over and over until they drop. But it's account wide. You do it once, all of your characters have that rune if you want.
So you actually can attach runes to your skills. Like that. Really? That's the thing that's crazy about this game is there are so many systems. Like there's the collectible system. There's rapport. There's a lot. There's so many things to do in this game. It's kind of overwhelming.
How many runes can you put on a thing at one time?
One for each ability. So, but this is like the thing is, Asmon is like, this is like you're not trying to get it all done right away. It's just a lot of people have this misconception, which is like honestly how you get fucked in the game, and also what I think a lot of people don't understand.
How do I get fucked in the game?
Well, what you're doing, right? Like you think item level is the most important thing. So you and I can have the same item level, but I can do way more fucking damage than you because of things like runes. Also, just the sets, like gear sets aren't the same. Like me and you can have the same item level, but you could have the blue Chaos Dungeon gear, and I could have Abyssal Dungeon gear. And we could be the same item level, but I'll do 20% more damage than you. So when you're done upgrading, all these people are like, oh, Stoopzz, I'm fucked. I don't know what to do. Like, I can't upgrade my gear, amount of mats, which you're probably not. You don't know where to get mats and everything. But that's when you go work on runes, sailing content, island hearts. You go off and do that stuff after you've done your upgrading for the day.
So
don't overwhelm yourself with it.
It's so fun. Like, I actually really like the idea of it's like, every time you get an upgrade, it's free to use. When you get as far as you can in your Abyss dungeons, now you have your set bonus, and you just transfer all that progress over.
Yeah, there's just like there's so many things
It's
like this that I just have no idea about. So now I need to start farming Guardian raids. Holy shit! Okay,
Well,
all right.
You'll get it
like,
quick though. You'll
I
get
do
a
feel
rune
like
fast.
you do kind of want to,
Okay.
you kind of have to plan out. It's like, how over the course of this week am I going to be best set up to get as far in Abyss dungeons as I can, right? Like, I feel like that's kind of where we're at right now. And Stoopzz, you can disagree with me because I agree that you know better. But it's like kind of almost like looking at it like, okay, if I'm able to get here, I'm going to be able to clear, you know, all of tier 2 or something. So you try to push the item level to unlock that. And then you go, okay, how do I get more skill points? How do I make sure I have the runes? How do I make sure that I actually have a tier bonus? So I'm doing like the extra 20% damage.
Yeah.
It's like you try to plan around the lockout, push as far as you can while you still have enough time.
I mean,
Holy shit.
You basically, the game will be for you is like you go off, you do your island to push as far, get as many mats as you can, and then you push your item level as high as you can, then you do the hardest Guardian raid you can, and the hardest Chaos Dungeon you can at the end of the day. Like that's just what you do when you're trying to go as fast as you can. But like I said, man, like I came into the game late, really late in Russia, and I got to the end just a lot of my friends as well. You know what I mean? Just playing. There's no rush, dude. Like you'll see.
Just play the game.
Yes, like don't get caught in that it's a rush because it's not. Like you're all gonna end up being at the same spot, and it's like every game. You know, like
there's only tier 3 right now, right? So eventually we're all gonna get there.
And wait for Argos.
Yeah, exactly. So my question is with tier 3 because I did hear this. Does upgrading gear or honing gear rather start to cost gold?
Yes. So in tier 3, it'll start to cost a little bit of a gold amount, but that's not really where the most of your gold will go. That's when because that's when you start making the most gold. And one of the problems that we have in Lost Ark in Korea and Russia is gold inflation because of so much printing of gold, how much gold you make per week. So they have to create gold sinks, and that you start spending a little bit of your gold to start upgrading your gear, but you're also going to make a lot more gold in tier 3. So right now, blue crystals is where your gold should be going. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys want all this stuff.
With this rune situation, I just have to run. Are there specific guardians that drop specific runes?
Yeah. So one thing that you'll really like to know is if you press Alt D, it's a built-in WoW head in the game. So if you press Alt D, it opens up the item codex, and you can type the rune that you're looking for, and then it will tell you where it comes from in the game. So I think it's called Galewind. So if you type Galewind on Alt D on the search bar, those are all of the runes you want for Berserker, and it will tell you where it comes from in the game. So if you hear like, oh, you need Galewind for that, just type Alt D, and it will tell you, you know, it's a built-in. So yeah, and then the Galewind runes that you want.
Explain gems.
You want to explain gems or?
Oh my god, there's so much
gems,
stuff.
Runes,
oh my god,
it's a lot. But yeah, yours are from every Guardian raid tier. So all you got to know, Zach, is that you clear like that each. You know, there's like a page of Guardians. Then you turn the next page to another page. You just want to collect a rune from each page, and every boss can drop it. So the most optimal way of doing it is doing the easiest Guardian raid in that tier, killing him, getting the rune, going to the next page. You'll get them. I have them almost all of them on my Berserker. You'll get it quickly.
Okay.
And Asmon, you know how engravings work, right? Like with.
Yes, I do. I understand engravings quite well. Actually, I know that might be a surprise, but yes, I have a level 2 and 2 level 1 engravings.
Wow. All right.
Yes, my engraving
I sent you a list
is
of the island route that I use.
Thank you.
If you want to follow that as well.
Thank you. I will absolutely use that.
It'll help you get the mats fast.
Can you send it to me so I can share it with players who maybe haven't done islands as much as not for me. I'm already completely.
You're chilling, bro. You got 30,000 gold, dude. You're fucking rolling in it, man. Shit. You're good. So yeah, I can drop it. I might get timed out for a link though. So
no. Thank you for sending it to me. I already saw that DM. But yeah, no, I think that one of the reasons that this game will last is people just start finding more and more systems. They start enjoying it. And I think a lot of people are going to be like, right after they finish leveling their main, they're going to be like, all right, which ult am I going to play right now?
Yeah,
and
now
I think
what?
that those are the people who are going to be here for a long time.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, how long do you think it's going to be before the game sees more end game get released? Because we only have a taste of tier 3 right now, right?
Well, the director said 1 month till Argos, so we're in 3 weeks we're gonna have Argos, which I think will be super fucking fun for a lot of you guys. That when I first did that raid, I was like, wow, this is one of the best raids I've ever done. And then I did the next raid, Bolton, and he said we're gonna get that soon. That's my fear, is that
they're gonna go through all the content too fast.
Well, we're not. They want us to catch up to Korea, right? But we're at that Loa-on event. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's really cool. They were saying that they made a mistake rushing raids too quickly, and they want to do more horizontal stuff, which will probably get pretty soon as well. But I'm worried that we're going to get raid after raid after raid after raid after raid. However, the one good thing about Lost Ark, in tier 3, you do all of the raids no matter what your item level is, except Argo. So you'll go back and do, it's not like that raid's dead content. You still clear it. You still go back and do it every week because you get paid gold to do it. So players will always do all 5 raids. And the best thing is you can, like Vaulton, there's a challenge to solo Vaulton. If you can solo him, that's one thing I wanted to do on Russia, was see if I could solo the boss. People do that as well.
Okay, yeah, that's cool one thing for me, is like, I really like the idea of soloing things. Like that's that's like really, it's like Dark Souls in a way.
Yeah,
it's so like fun.
A lot
so
like that.
With the Abyss dungeons, right? So you get to the end, and then you get like 100 gold, and then you spend 30 of it on the
for the extra loot.
Yeah.
It used to be blue crystal, yeah, but now it's gold.
Yeah, so like you spend that, then you get a bunch of extra stuff after you've already beaten a tier, right? For example, a lot of people are going to be at the point that they have beat tier 2, or sorry, they've gotten to tier 2, and they are farming tier 1 each week. So what are they trying to get from that, Stoopzz?
From tier 1 after they beat it?
Yeah, like because you do it each week. What do you actually try to get?
So you do, well, you mean in the tier or previous tier?
Like when you go to the previous tier and
you don't go back to so you do Vaulton, Beatrice, Argos, all of those raids are all within tier 3. We're going to be in tier 3 for probably 2 years. I'm not kidding.
Jesus.
So do you just, so like let's you get to tier 3, there's no reason for your main to do tier 1 and tier 2 anymore?
What we get is a thing called Abyss Trials, where it's equalized and normalized versions of those dungeons every week. So we go back and you can grab your buddies, like your friends that are in tier 1 and tier 2, you can group up and do an Abyss Trial, and you go back and you do the old dungeons to get mats for tier 3.
Okay, that's a lot to know.
Dude, I'm telling you, what you guys are doing is so small. I'm more excited for you guys to, like, it will be overwhelming. Like, straight up, that's my fear, is that you're like, holy fuck, there's so much in this game. But it's a different problem than a lot of people are used to. Just do one thing at a time. Yeah, one thing at a time. But you guys are always bitching about having no content. In this game, it's going to be probably too much content. So we'll see how it goes.
It certainly seems that way. There's a lot to fucking know. There is. Rich, do you want to do some questions? You guys want to do some questions?
Yeah, let's do some questions right now. Like I already, my head's going all over the place. You know, I'm thinking about like how I'm going to start farming rapport, how I'm going to
it's another system.
Like I'm thinking about so many things. And you know, guys, I think as we're talking about a lot of Lost Ark things over time, we're going to be learning so much, and it's been fun having Stoopzz on already to talk about so many of those systems. But now, any of the questions that you guys have, we're going to dive into. So if you do have any questions for anybody here, you can start using, it's hashtag ask, right? You do hashtag ask with the question after it. If you just type hashtag ask, you are doing the wrong thing. You are actually not uploading a question. You got to do hashtag ask space, type out the question, and we will pull them up on the stream right now.
Parses them all out.
Yep.
There's the first one right there. Wolfgang Ampersand. So Lost Ark should have waited at least 3 months before opening their cash shop. Feels like they have built a very strong pay-to-win reputation now and might ruin it more. My opinion about that is that I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I feel like people are either going to play the game or not, and the numbers speak for themselves that there are a lot of people that think Genshin Impact is pay-to-win, but there's also a lot of people that play it. I don't think that something being pay to win in like an end game sense or like in a progression acceleration sense is necessarily going to be a reason for a lot of people to not play it. And that's just the truth. I think there's a lot of people that just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They'll play it anyway.
I think one of the things is pay to win's a pretty blanket statement that has like a really bad connotation. You instantly feel like if I do not ever spend money in this game, I will never be able to have fun with it. And I don't think that this game is currently that, although you could spend a lot of money to like maybe skip some stuff to try to catch up, but you could have a lot of fun without it. Where I start to get concerned is some of the things that Stoopzz mentioned, because they were things that really ruined WoW for me. Even as a person who plays, like, I will play games that I think are traditionally pay to win. Like, I've played Epic 7, I play Raid Shadow Legends, and anybody who's going to sit here right now saying that I don't, Asmon has sat next to me while I'm doing it, right? I for fun play those games. The thing, and I play Genshin as well. The thing that I'm worried about in this game is if we get to the place that WoW is in, because I actually find that to take me out of the game more and be more annoying when I know that I can pay for boosts with in-game currency. I don't like things like that. I think that that's actually the thing that makes the game less fun, because you start having that mindset where, why would I learn when I can get carried? That's what I'm scared of.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I just think that every game has boosts. Like, you can't get around that. It's just part of the game. And some people, to be fair, also, like, I'm gonna be real, dude. When I was younger, I loved selling boosts, dude. It was part of the game for me. Like,
it is what it is.
If I was good at something and I could sell it to somebody, like, that felt fucking cool. And I just feel like that's something you can't. How are you gonna stop people from doing that? But so, okay, first let me answer this question. Fuck no, they shouldn't hide the cash shop from. It is what it fucking is. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna hide it and then put it in the game later? That's exactly what people are worried about. Where you like don't show any pay to win, then you.
Exactly.
No, it is what it fucking is. And if you don't like the game, no sweat. Like, right, like that. Don't hide it from people.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But what I was gonna say is that, like, I think what they do in Lost Ark is this is what they've done. So raids like Clown, you guys don't know about it. You might have seen it, the Clown raid. There's these other raids. Those won't be carryable and are not carryable because of a lot of the mechanics they put in it. However, the balance though is that it creates fucking super frustrating mechanics that one person can wipe the fucking raid, even if it's a 4-man raid. So it's like, that's what they're working on, is like they want to create content that you can't carry people through, and you won't be able to carry a lot of these raids, I mean, for a really long time.
Really?
Like, really, yeah, 100%, dude. We're not gonna have a Clown carry for, I would say, a year after it's out, maybe, or 6 months after it's out.
I thought the Clown raid meant that Quinn 69 raided you.
Dude, there was a clip somebody clipped on my stream. It says Stoopzz found Quinn in game, and it's like this guy. I'll link it. It's like, dude, I'll link it to. You can go to the next question. I want you to see this. What the fuck?
No. Oh no.
Dude, you know what's so funny about Lost Ark? The reason I was so excited for it was I actually watched Quinn play it when he started playing on the other servers. So that was one of the reasons I was so excited for this game. But yeah, I do think, Stoopzz, you bring up a lot of really good points when we're kind of talking about those cash elements of the game. One of the things that I feel like so many people get worked up very quickly, which is fair, about those elements of the game, and they don't talk about the things that are actually toxic. And I brought this up last week, and now I'll bring it up again just to hear how everybody feels about it now. I think the things that people should be complaining about more is kind of like the awkwardly priced things, like a crystal and aura for 420 crystals, right? And then when you go on the cash shop,
you can only buy 400 at a time.
Yes, it's $10 for 400 at a time. So what's going to happen then when you get to the point where you don't have crystals and you want to spend the $10? Like, do you think that those token economy strategies are bad for the game? Obviously, it probably makes them more money. I am curious about that. That clip is hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, that's a Clown I found on Korea. That thing you're talking about, the 420 thing, that's blue crystal. Again, that's something that's earnable with in-game gold, right? So that isn't how it was in other regions. That sub thing, you pay anything that's blue crystal, that you should, and that is gold. You should pay, and that is gold. Okay. But one thing I think it is a little interesting is where you can buy royal crystals. You have to understand, blue crystals is your gold. That's gold value. Royal crystals is cash shop currency. We get these bonuses if you pay 100. You get 20% more, 10% more, which isn't how it is on other regions. Not in Russia and not in Korea. So you are getting a deal when you buy royal crystals, but it also is like, oh, well, if I spend $50 more, then I get 20% more royal crystals, right?
So then people feel like they want to do it.
That is something that I thought I always think that's like, oh, that's a little kind of
it's a little scummy.
Yeah, a little scummy.
Yeah, you feel stupid if you don't spend $100, right? Like when I buy, and then also like when I buy the crystals, I'm like, I should spend $100 right now.
Oh yeah, that's how I get you.
It's a deal. It's a sale. It's a limited time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you don't do it, I mean, you're just dumb, right? Why not do it?
Yeah. It's value. Yeah, I definitely do get that. Okay, so we got another question up here. My eyes aren't what they used to be. Let me make the screen a little bit bigger. When do you think all new MMOs? When do you think with all new MMOs have a single mega server only instead of many small servers?
Well, doesn't Guild Wars 2 do something like this, where it doesn't necessarily have a mega server, but it's something similar, where you have
Guild Wars
like
2 has like 50 people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's got. I know some Guild Wars 2 Eddies would get upset about that, but like, you gotta have like. You can see with EU and Lost Ark, that shit's on fire right now. I don't know if it's possible to look at WoW. Like the servers are so bad nowadays. Remember, like back in the day, we used to be able to play, and then now it's like they're all connected and sharded. They lag like fucking crazy, and I don't know if it's possible anytime soon.
It's hard to say, but like I can definitely say that players don't care about servers, and that's why you see like in Classic WoW, for example, all of the players migrating to just like one big collective server, because why the fuck would you want to be on, like 5 different servers? You want to be in a people where everybody is, everybody's on the same server. It's just like a pointless level of like disconnect that you don't want to have to deal with.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the games that start to create these mega servers and things like that people want, they're games that they're not having issues with servers because they're having issues with people playing it. It's like, look, like WoW now, why are they trying to get rid of factions and things like that? It's like they need to find a way for players to actually have people to play with, because there aren't enough people to fully play the game, right?
Well, it's also players voted that they don't want factions anymore. That's literally what happened, is players decided we don't want factions anymore. We are all going Horde, and that's it.
I think it was a good decision, man.
I do think it.
I want to play. I've been wanting to be a gnome for so long, and I never could do it because it's just
there's just like there's nothing they can do about it.
That's a very good way to put it, Asmon, because at this point, even if it wasn't originally the best decision for the game, you kind of have to work with the current state of the game, not the nostalgic, idealized version of the game and the things that you remember, right? It's for the game state to have enough people to play the game with and to be able to do all of those things. It's really what you got to do. And I think that these mega servers and things like that, it's just a technical impossibility now. Who knows 5 years from now?
Yeah, I think that's the way a lot of people feel, is like, they want the mega servers. For me, I absolutely want mega servers. I think mega servers are a better experience for a player. And I think because of that, that's why I want them, right? It's mainly because of that reason.
Yeah, you want to be able to play with people you want to play with, right? You don't want to always have like that moment where you're like messaging like 10 of your friends, like one of your friends goes on the wrong server, they quit the game because they feel like they can't play with anyone. Like obviously you don't want those things to happen, but the game needs to be playable first. Like I would also love if I could actually go inside the game and hang out with my characters, but it's not going to happen until like 2080.
It's be a while.
That's what fucked Endwalker in its launch, right? It was just these queues. It's
the queue times were really, really bad for Endwalker, but people were like mostly okay with it because, well, they weren't actually mostly okay with it. There were a lot of people that were upset. They were mad. They were mostly okay with Square Enix for it because they knew that it wasn't Square Enix's fault. It's actually my fault for playing the game.
It really was. Yeah, you ruined Final Fantasy, man.
Yeah, I ruined Final Fantasy.
It's like all the people who didn't even know about Final Fantasy 14 until they were on your subreddit just being like, thank you for showing me this game just to burn it all down, you greedy streamer. But it was very tough for a lot of people to play 14. I definitely agree, but now
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Those problems are over. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. It was a new launch. It's great to see how many people are excited to play the game. So this question is, how do you feel about the unreleased classes? How do you hope they go about releasing them on the West?
I don't know. Stoopzz, what do you think?
I know how they're gonna do it. There's gonna be an event. The event will help those people that want to pick up that class. Maybe they'll give you a free boost to like Rohandel or something like that.
Yeah.
And it'll be advertised, and that's how the game works. They always try to help, because you have to understand it's hard to catch people in this game if they don't give you something, and that's what we were kind of talking about a little bit. But imagine you're like, come play this game with me. It'll take you a year to catch me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll probably have an event, help people get on that class, get it going, and there'll be a really sick skin that comes out with it. You know, just that's how it'll go.
Just the usual stuff. Yeah.
Every 2 months,
I think it was every 2 months is what they said. And I actually think I think releasing them like that is pretty smart because it's just guaranteed content to get people back on to like try a new class, right? And you're gonna have an inflation of people like at that level. I know a lot of people are excited for artists. It's like what artist, summoner, scouter, what else?
Destroyer,
female berserkers coming. What the people do in this game is you save all of your mats, all of your gold, and you wait, right? And you just wait for the new class to come out, and then as soon as that class comes out, you just trade all of the mats, all of your gold, and you try to get it and ready to go in that day. Like that's what people do. Yeah. So that's part of the game for sure.
I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. Like the berserker is just so fun. I don't see myself ever playing another class.
Dude, you have no idea. That was my main. When you get that class with actual runes, actual gems and everything, it's so fast. It's like
it's
so good.
It's the best class in the game. Played. Like it's the best class in the game. And like why would I want to play another class if I'm already playing the best class in the game? It's like it doesn't make any sense.
Should I try it?
Berserker? I mean, there's a Booba one coming at some point. We'll see.
Yeah,
is there actually a Booba one?
They showed it at low
of course. Yeah, there's.
How long do I have to wait? Maybe I'll wait to play Berserker until it's. Wait, so when they have like the female characters and like the male character, like are there differences? Because isn't there like
like my understanding of it, like I used the analogy and people said it was very accurate. It's the difference between Fox and Falco and Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Exactly. Such a good example. They're different. They have their own unique builds, play a little bit different. I mean, it's definitely because they want to get money, right? Like everyone gets super excited to play the female version, and it's a bit different, so it'll make you want to try it out. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, that is interesting. I will say, like, I want to alt a lot in this game. I actually think it's even if they're not completely caught up. It is cool to just get that different experience. Like I like switching between sorts.
Dude, I was watching Zach play. It's like some kind of like gunner thing, and they had like a gun. Like I was like, bro, I never felt better about a decision in my life than whenever I watched somebody play a class that wasn't a berserker. It's like, wow, I really did make the right call, huh?
It's fun, dude.
Gunslinger is so cool though. Like Gunslinger feels you're playing a completely different game. Like that when you actually watching people play the gunslinger the right way, where they're like using the pistols to close space, they switch to the shotgun, they're like, and then they like unload all that damage, and then they're like, and they use the pistol to like get back in space, and then they switch to the rifle, and they're just like, and then
that's nice. But I have a really big sword. Flow. Yeah, I have a really big sword though, so like I don't really care about that. But like that's nice. I mean, I'm happy for you. You know, you've got something that you like, and you know, it's cute.
I'm too boomer for that class, dude. I accept that I'm getting fucking older, and it is what it is, bro.
So greasy, man. Like it's actually the greasiest gamer class ever. Like, look, you only get sweaty on Gunslinger, and my Gunslinger Amaranth. I'm very excited to get sweaty and really just push it to the limit eventually. But it's probably gonna be a little. It's probably gonna be a little while. But like going between Sorceress and Bard is something that I'm excited to do.
You have a Sorc, a Bard, and what else did you make? They're all max level?
Yeah, I have Sorcerer Bard, Sorceress Bard, Shadowhunter, Gunslinger, Soulfist, Deathblade.
And how'd you get them? You didn't level them, right? You used the gold, did the knowledge transfer, and you
I knowledge transfer.
Wow, you actually have been going super hard. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I actually got like straight up like I had a family thing yesterday, so I couldn't play it all yesterday, and then I've been playing late nights, which is honestly it's like this weird coinky dink. I've been playing like basically every hour that Asmon's asleep. Like, dude, when are we gonna get to play together? Like our sleep schedules are completely different.
It's crazy how that's happened, huh?
And so I've gotten maintenance. So I've gotten maintenance literally every single time. So I've actually had less hours to play the game than people who are awake during Asmon hours or whatever.
So you just sit there and watch videos during that time?
So I try to basically watch videos that are going to help me progress more in the game, and they're going to give me like more intimate knowledge of what I should do to play more efficiently when I get on. So like I watch like videos like Daily Dose and
Daily Dose of
in the
Lost Ark
section,
or Daily Dose of Internet.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, I always log in and I'm like, yeah, guys, it's time to like watch like a really informative video during maintenance, and then I start watching Daily Dose, pause during the cat thing, and I'm like, so the thing with cats is, and I lose my train of thought in the 3 hours.
God.
Yeah, so I mean, look, sometimes, man, I boot up Lord of the Rings. I can make it like halfway through a video before the servers come back up. But I'm at the point right now where I'm assuming that the servers are going to be. Oh my God, did they actually find me ranting while I paused an Asmon video? Like,
wait, so you were watching a reaction to me react? You were watching,
bro? I learned from the best. I learned from the best.
Okay, all right.
I watched, I don't know what it was. I watched you watching him, watching something else, watching.
Holy
I don't
fuck,
remember
man.
what it was.
That's some human centipede content shit. What the fuck?
Where are you, right? By the way, where is this?
So that was at Techie's house, and that was a picture of me being homeless.
Okay.
Oh, it's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is what I'm gonna be by the time I'm finished spending all of my money on this.
Lost Ark. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's my chair.
Well, yeah. I mean, do we have one more question? Let's at least do one more question, because I feel like we haven't done quite enough. Let's do one more. How do you? Oh yeah, that's the one we already answered. What's the other one? Okay, yeah, guys, let's get one more good
Go ahead
question,
and
guys.
ask. And I just want to say, as we're finding this question too, after this, we're gonna be doing the Allcraft after show on my stream. So there you can actually call in as well. We're gonna be doing viewer call in, so you can ask me and Asmon anything that you want, as we always do. And I do want to say right now, as we're finding the question as well, make sure that you guys are following Stoopzz. You know, Asmon and I've known Stoopzz now for I mean
3-4 years now, somewhere around there. Yeah, it's been a while.
A long time. He's done a lot of good in the WoW community, and now he's been here, and he's really one of the people who knows Lost Ark the best right now out of everybody. So you can learn a lot from the guy. He's been making content for years. Be sure to follow him on.
Thank you.
I mean, Stoopzz, you can tell them where the best place to follow you is.
No, I mean, it's fine. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like,
I'm not the biggest guest or whatever, but it was cool coming on and talking about the game.
Well, I think a lot of people wanted to see you because, like, we've watched so many of your videos talking about the game, and we've seen your evolution from going from, playing WoW and then like Lost Ark, and so like this is a conversation I think a lot of people were interested in. So I really appreciate you coming on and talking about it.
So I mean, me and it was the Allcraft that we want. Like Asmon and I DM'd each other, and we were like, we didn't even say like who's going to be the Allcraft guest this week and like talk about. We were just like Stoopzz. Yeah, and obviously, it was one of those things where it was a no brainer for us. We've loved everything that you're doing too, and I think it's also nice to kind of have like all the people in a different place on an episode to really see like the full spectrum of the game. But our last question for the call-ins right now, thoughts on if Lost Ark viewership on Twitch helped push its popularity, especially with drops?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why they do it. If it didn't work, they wouldn't do it. Of course it does. I mean, like, does it really matter though? Because like I'll draw a very, very comparison, okay? Look at New World. New World had drops. New World has more promotion than Lost Ark got. And guess what? New World was massively popular on Twitch. You had Shroud sitting there with like 100,000 plus viewers because he had the drops, right? Like 100%. And everybody was watching that. Same with like a few other streamers too. And a lot of that is just straight up people wanting to get the drops, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to continue playing the game. And it's the same thing with Rust. It's the same thing with other stuff too. Right?
Look, marketing
just the way it goes.
Marketing's great because you
can't market a turd.
Exactly. I was literally going to say the same exact thing. The thing is you can get somebody to try it, but if you're trying to get somebody to eat poop, yes, you might be able to get them to taste it, but once they taste it, they go, okay,
they're spit it out. They're like, this is poop, man. I knew it was poop, man.
I knew it was poop, but you told me, streamer.
Why you make me eat this?
Streamer, you told me poop was good.
Yeah, why you do this?
This game is it's clearly not poop. People have a taste and they want to continue to eat more.
I just can't believe it is big. I did not like. I really thought this game was going to be like a little bit bigger than like Elion. You know what I mean? Which no one even heard about.
Yeah.
I didn't, dude. I get like the numbers on Twitch were huge, dude. Like the amount of people playing the game is huge. I really thought it would not be anywhere near as big as it is, and because there was not that much marketing. And I actually saw it was really funny. It was like I forgot who it was. Maybe it was Sony. He tweeted something out, and then there was like Courage
classic WoW. Yeah.
Courage, dude, like no shot in hell, like not da 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 da. And then
everybody shit on Mike's best take ever. Dude, look, I've been friends with Sony for a year, and I love you, dude. I seriously fucking do. Sometimes you have the worst takes I've ever seen.
And he was right.
And this time, like, I saw that tweet, and I was like, yo, this is right. Like, this is
fat copium, dude. Like,
and everybody shit on him. Everybody shit on him. And dude was fucking right.
Yep, there it is.
I don't know. I'm surprised. I have no idea how it got as big, and
bro,
just
like
shocked.
it was the best. Like, dude, like usually, like Sony's like, okay, you need to sit outside and get your balls in the sunlight, and I'm like, and like I'm sitting out there, and you're just sack tanning. I don't know why, but this take was perfect. You know, he had a really good take. He was talking about and like, dude, everybody was shitting on him, and he was right. And honestly, I will say, Sony, he's been grinding this game for a long time. He knew what he was talking about, and the man deserves some credit. He definitely does. He's been
put some respect on his name, man. Sony Digital, fucking season 3, Vengeful Gladiator. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I do want to say, guys, we had a great show today. I really appreciate everybody coming on and just hanging out. Stoopzz, thanks again for coming on to the show, hanging out with us. And again, if you guys want to follow Stoopzz, if Mods can link his channel, he streams on Twitch, he makes YouTube videos, and if you watch my stuff, you probably see me reacting to his videos. Quite good.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully that wasn't overwhelming or whatever, but I had a lot of fun, and as always, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And again, guys, we also are going to be going over and doing the stream over at Rich's stream. We're going to just host over there, do the after show where we answer some call-in questions from you guys. If you want to hang out, some questions directly to us. We'll pull people into the Discord channel, talk to them, etc. And yeah, somebody did bring up the giveaway. I forgot to even mention that as well. I try to mention it every single day. But we are doing an ongoing for 5 PS5s, and also each copy comes with a copy of Elden Ring Collector's Edition. So if you guys want to enter into that, it's some good shit right there. Yeah,
that's a good one.
5 PS5s, and so yeah, guys, it's on my Twitter. If mods are able to link that at all, and you guys can just enter into it. It's completely free to enter, and it's also global. So if you guys want to do that, go on ahead. There it is, right there in chat. So again, guys,
go ahead. Play Elden Ring?
No.
Oh, okay. Jeez, that scared the crap out of me.
Stoopzz, you gonna play Elden Ring?
I don't. I mean, I've never played any of them. I'm kind of fucking scared.
Really?
I've never played any of them. I'm kind of scared.
Let me be honest with you. They're not that hard. Like,
okay.
The thing is that like everybody makes it out like Dark Souls. Like, go watch a speed run of Dark Souls and watch a guy 3-shot a boss and then tell me that it's hard.
All right.
No, it's not. Like, there are bosses in Dark Souls that are straight up hard, but in my opinion, there's like maybe one hard boss in all of Dark Souls 1, and there's maybe 5 in Dark Souls 3. And yeah, you just roll. Like, it's a matter of practice though. Like, I've also put like probably collectively 1,000 hours into the game, so I'm much more used to it. But yeah, I wouldn't be intimidated.
All right, fuck it. I'll
try.
Just hit spacebar when you're scared. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I saw Quinn fucking raging, getting fucked up in that game, so I don't know. We'll see. I'll consider it.
Yeah, that I wouldn't really use that as a measurement.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Did Quinn ever beat Sekiro, by the way? I don't know if he ever did. Yeah, is anybody chatting? Yeah, I'm not sure if he ever did. No, he did not. Yes, no, he did. Okay, half the people saying yes, half the people saying no. What else is new? Well, anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to be back on tomorrow morning because today, I'm going to be honest, I spent 3 fucking hours watching videos. We had a great time, but I would also have had a great time if we had a little bit more time to game. So we are going to be back online tomorrow early in the morning, 8 to 9 in the morning, and we're going to be popping off all day long. But if you guys want to hang out a little bit stream, doing again the after show. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to follow the stream and everything like that before you go. And I will see everybody here. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Peace.
Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye, guys.